remains out. The absence of point is a major one for the two-time defending champs, notes ESPN's Kevin Weeks.
His ability in that bumper position is so unique. Being in the middle, down low, at 5-on-5, or especially on the power play, his ability to handle the puck is so unique. But at least it's offset by the fact that the captain, Steven Stamkos, who had a career best season in terms of points in the regular season, assists, he looks like himself. He scored a huge goal last game, top shelf, Bucci, and he looks great.
Avalanche forward Nazem Kadri on the verge of returning from a broken thumb. Game 4, 8 Eastern ABC. The U.S. House Oversight Committee will subpoena Washington Commanders owner Daniel Snyder for a deposition next week. He declined to testify today, citing overseas work commitments. The committee is investigating the team's workplace culture. NFL Commissioner Raj Goodell testified today that he has no authority to remove Snyder as owner of the Commanders amid the ongoing scrutiny over several issues.
Feeling great starts with a great shave. And great shaves start with Barbasol Shaving Cream. And for a limited time only, capture your Barbasol Jurassic World collector cans before they're gone.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios. That's right.
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. And oh, by the way, it's a hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
Let's hump, everybody.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I am 2 hours and 58 minutes from a long weekend in New York City. Might be a smidge distracted today.
It's hump day.
Or maybe we'll just blow it up today.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU baseball transfer Jack Pineda in 12 minutes. Taylor Calandro later this hour.
It's hump day.
Sam Spiegelman recapping Elite Camp 1 hour from right now.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
LSU defensive back transfer from Ohio State, Sevyn Banks in hour 3. We got overrated, underrated.
It's hump day.
We got portal news.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
We got the Saints adding a Vikings tight end. We got the Pell shopping Tay Graham.
It's hump day.
Oh, we got stuff.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
All right, let's get to it. Let's get right to it here. All right, man, a lot we are going to get to. As I mentioned, we do have portal news. Let's start with the latest portal news. Leah Vann of The Advocate just a bit ago tweeting that Jacob Hasty, the latest LSU Tiger to enter the transfer portal. She then did follow up that tweet about Jacob Hasty entering the transfer portal with a note per source. I'm reading her tweet. Hasty, is waiting to hear who the pitching coach is. Makes sense. She writes, makes sense with the uncertainty to see what the options are. Again, all players in the portal have the option of returning. So Jacob Hasty has entered the transfer portal. This is an interesting one because Jacob Hasty has had an interesting career arc during his time at LSU. By the way, do you have the Jay Johnson cut that I pulled? Okay, thank you. In 2020, in his first season, he made 7 appearances and did not allow an earned run. His batting average against was .071. Only 7 appearances, but he was really good in 2020. Of course, that was the COVID season. In 2021, last year, he had 19 appearances, all out of the bullpen, and had a 4.24 ERA. He was a guy they went to often as a lefty out of the pen. And then, of course, Paul Maneri retires. Jay Johnson is hired. And the fall was not good for Jacob Hasty. And if you followed the program, you sort of knew that was sort of the word out of fall practice and the preseason workouts. And then Jacob Hasty didn't pitch early in this season. And then, and look, and despite the fact that your only lefty was Riley Cooper. Remember, Javen Coleman was hurt, so you didn't have a left-handed starter. Riley Cooper was your only lefty. And then we saw Hasty, and Jay Johnson, on his coach's show, mentioned why, and he was very direct, why we didn't see Hasty for a while, and then why we all of a sudden started to see him.
That's a big development for us, and I'm really happy for him. He was not very good in the fall. He was not very good in January and February leading up to the season, which is why he didn't have a lot of opportunities early. To his credit, he worked hard with Coach Kelly. He worked hard with Coach Roy in the weight room. He really refined some things relative to both his body and his delivery. And if you were watching Game 2, when we brought him in out of the pen, he looked like a left-handed reliever in the major leagues. Yeah. And so we're going to get him back out there again, and I'm very excited to do that.
So we did get to see Jacob. And look, Jay Johnson could not have been any more direct. He was not very good in the fall. He was not very good in January and February. But worked on his conditioning, worked with Jason Kelly, got better, and carved out a really nice role as a lefty out of the pen. Now, his last 3 outings of the season in the postseason for LSU in regional play just did not go well. But that happens. No matter what, if Hasty's back or is not back, we'll see it. Apparently, he's waiting to see who the new pitching coach will be. And again, I don't think that you're going to have that answer this week or maybe even next week. It's going to, Jay Johnson is going to hit the portal, and once this portal window closes, then he'll focus on the staff. But when you look at LSU's left-handed pitching options right now, it's Riley Cooper and it's Javen Coleman. And you got Javen Coleman coming off of Tommy John, so we really don't know when he'll be fully ready to go and how effective he'll be. But that's it. You got those 2. Now, you've signed 5 lefties in this class. And remember, Robbie Snelling is one of the lefties in this class, and he's a projected top 15, certainly a first-round pick in this in next month's draft. So it's unlikely Snelling shows. He's a definite no-show. But the other 4 all seem like there's a really good chance that those 4 will end up on campus. So you'll have Coleman back. You'll have Cooper back. You'll be adding 4 lefties in this class. That's 6 left-handed arms. That's enough. Now, if you get Jacob Hasty and his experience back, great. But if he leaves, it's sort of understandable as well. And so if you're looking at the numbers, and we've kind of done this as we've gotten information and guys going in the portal, since the season ended, here's the list. Gio, Holt, Cranford, Safford, and now Hasty. That's 5 since the season ended. Prior to that, Fowler, Drost, and Priester had all entered. So that's 8 by my count. We've gone through the numbers a bunch. Remember, you're going from 40 to 35 on the roster as far as roster limits. And you're going to lose Barry to the draft. You're likely going to lose Raiselman and Gervais. We went through the 5 guys that are they've exhausted their eligibility. So that's 8 very likely gone. Now you've got 8 in the portal. That's 16. There's a very good likelihood that you lose Bianco as well. There's some talk that he'll go play for his dad his final year. That's 17. You understand my point? Like, you are now pushing on roughly half of your roster turning over. So Jay Johnson's got work to do to make these spots available for the guys that don't sign, the high school, the signees who don't sign a pro contract and show up, and then attacking the portal. You've added Dylan Tabrock. You've added Jack Pineda, the Baylor transfer. And there could be another big name who could land on LSU's campus soon. Tip of the cap to Jarrett Roser, who spotted this on Instagram, screenshotted it, and tweeted it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have seen it. But Christian Little, former Vanderbilt pitcher who entered the portal after this season, put on his Instagram story a photo of himself at the box. It's a point of view photo from behind home plate looking out at Alec Box Stadium. That is a very big development if they can get Christian Little on campus. Now, we'll go into greater detail about it if and when they get him, but just as a refresher on Christian Little was an early enrollee at Vanderbilt in 2021, so he just finished his second season. He was the number 15 recruit in the class by perfect game. So you were talking about a guy that they expected to be the next in line of rocker, lighter. He was supposed to be next. In 2021, he was primarily a starter. This year, he was primarily a reliever. He did have 3 saves on the season as well. But you're talking about a dude that is 6'4", with a strong arm. LSU saw him twice this year and had some success against him. But Jay Johnson clearly knows the player, scouted the player. And my guess is, and I don't know this, but my guess is Christian Little wants to be a starting pitcher. And if he's not going to have that opportunity at Vanderbilt, he's going to go somewhere that he can have that opportunity. And it's pretty clear he would at least minimum have the opportunity to compete for a starting spot in Baton Rouge. So we'll keep our eye on Christian Little. Again, the Vanderbilt, 2-year player at Vanderbilt, who's got 1 more year to play before he's draft eligible. And he was in Baton Rouge on Tuesday visiting LSU's campus. So we'll keep you up to date there if and when we learn anything new. All right, it's after further review. One thing we do know for sure is that Jack Pineda is joining the LSU baseball program. The former Baylor shortstop who hit the portal, he has committed to the Tigers. He will be part of LSU's program next year. We will talk to Jack Pineda next.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds to remind you about our friends over at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Needed lunch yesterday. Normally I bring my lunch. Needed lunch yesterday. What did I do? Popped over to Rouse's right there at Burbank and Lee. Tell you about it all the time. You walk into Rouse's. To the right is all the groceries, and to the left is food. The butcher, the baker. Not going to do it again. The seafood market. They get so much to choose from. They've got their kiosks set up as well. So if you want the hot and boiled seafood, you can get it. If you want hot plates to go, they've got it. They got their salad bar as well. It's a fantastic place if you're looking for lunch or grab-and-go dinner for the whole family. It's at Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints. Remember, Rouse's also has curbside pickup and delivery options. Can't get to Rouse's or don't want to go in? They'll save you time. Download the Rouse's app or go to Rouse's.com. They'll do the shopping for you. Rouse's, the official supermarket of the New Orleans Saints.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2021 Jeep Wranglers and Jeep Gladiators on our lot now with $5,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million-mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Sevyn office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Sevyn have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
The best things in summer are unofficial.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
LSU baseball landed a commitment from Baylor, former Baylor shortstop Jack Pineda. That's a name who may very well sound familiar to LSU fans because of this.
Delivers. Going back, and it's a home run. Oh, man. You know what? That ball looked like it was going to be caught, and it just kept carrying, and Pineda, home run. Wow. A two-run shot, and the Bears take the lead.
That was Jack Pineda, who homered against LSU and Paul Gervais at Minute Maid back in February. He's good enough to join us now on the show. He'll be wearing the color of the good guys this go round. Jack, thanks for the time, man. How are you?
Yeah, thank you for having me. So, yeah, sorry about that.
No.
Look forward to doing that in a Tiger uniform.
We all look forward to seeing it. No apologies at all. By the way, do you say Pineda or Pineda? I heard the announcer say Pineda.
Yeah, kind of whatever you want, but I usually say Pineda.
Pineda. Okay. No, listen. I'm going to call you what your mama calls you, okay? That's my rule on there. So if your mom says Jack Pineda, I'm calling you Jack Pineda. Okay. Hey, by the way, when you were being recruited, did Jay Johnson mention that homer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was funny. He kind of made a little bit of a highlight tape, and he ended it with that. And so it was definitely brought up.
Very nice. So, all right, let's go through a little bit of this process, how this works, Jack. I mean, we've talked for a couple days about you and your background. We're glad to have you here. But why did you decide to jump into the portal when you did?
Yeah, it was mainly the coaching change at Baylor. Our coach stepped down at the end of the season, and I just wanted to have options available. I didn't really know who they were going to bring in. And then when Coach Johnson called, the opportunity just kind of seemed too good to pass up.
So we all know how the portal works. You go in the portal, and then anybody can contact you. When did Jay Johnson first make contact?
Yeah, so Coach Johnson was actually the first person to call me when my name entered the portal, and he was kind of the reason I found out that my name, or when my name got in the portal, because I was expecting it, and it's kind of a long process, and then he called me, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm in the portal now.
He is I've been saying it on air here for a few days. Coach Johnson is like relentlessly just ambushing the portal right now because he's trying to build a roster that's going to be able to compete and get back to Omaha. We'll talk a little bit about your background, but what has been your opinion or your perception of LSU baseball?
I mean, for me, I think that it's kind of the mecca of college baseball. I remember growing up watching them play in Omaha, and I hear there's nothing like the box. I've never been there, but I'm excited to play there. And that's kind of the first program that comes to mind when I think of college baseball. And the fans are great. The welcome that I've got has been a little overwhelming, but that just kind of shows you how much they love the Tigers.
You obviously got to visit LSU because the picture you posted was at LSU. So if you could walk us through, Jack, a little bit about that, how that happened, like when you were here, how long the visit was, and when you made your decision.
Yeah, so I went out there last week. They just kind of flew me in for the day. I was in Waco at the time and went to Baton Rouge from Waco and just kind of checked out the place and went home and just kind of talked with my family a little bit and then called Coach Johnson, I think Thursday night, and then just kind of waited a couple days to put it on social media.
Jack Pineda is with us. He's now a LSU infielder, Jack Pineda, transferring in from Baylor. And so this will be your final year of eligibility, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I know with COVID, everything, eligibility and years and what all there is somewhat confusing at times. But, I mean, you got a 505 number, so you're an Albuquerque guy. I've heard through the grapevine that you, of course, Alex Bregman's one of the greatest players ever play here. You have a relationship with Bregman?
I do. He's his family and my family are actually pretty good family friends. And we see them a lot of times during the holidays and different occasions like that. So yeah, the Bregmans and the Pinedas kind of get along pretty well.
They're a great family, man. Have you talked to Alex since your commitment?
I have not. I think he's been a little busy.
Yeah.
He homered today, so hopefully he can keep that up.
Man, you are pretty in tune. Bregman did have a day game homer today and a 2-hit day. They're going to play the Yankees this week. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go up to New York. I'm going to catch part of that series. So I'm not going to tell Alex I'll be wearing Yankee gear, but I think he'll forgive me either way. Jack Pineda is with us for a couple more minutes here. So let's talk a little bit about what your role is going to be at LSU. Clearly, I know you started at second base at Baylor and then switched over to shortstop. Did Jay Johnson tell you what he envisioned for your role here?
A little bit. I mean, he just kind of said that I'd be a staple in the lineup, and where that is, that's going to be up for him to make that decision. I expect to get reps at every infield position, and ultimately he's going to arrange us in the spots that give us the best chance to win next spring.
Are you more comfortable at one spot than the other? Like, have you played predominantly one spot for most of your baseball career?
Yeah, so I've played shortstop pretty much my whole life, and I would say that that's the place that I'm the most comfortable.
Okay, but if you needed to play second or third, you feel like you'd be willing to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about the bat as well. I mean, you hit over 300 each of your 2 seasons there in Waco. How would you describe? I mean, we saw the power. I mean, you kind of went opposite field, left center on the homer off Gervais. How would you describe yourself as a hitter?
As a hitter, I think that I'm pretty versatile. The pop is there. I would like the pop to come out a little bit more often. And I think that that's one of the reasons why I chose LSU and Coach Johnson. Is just his offensive mind is so good. But I think my bat to ball is really good, and I'm going to put up tough at-bats and just kind of be a pest, so to speak, for opposing pitchers, and just really set the table at the top of the lineup, and hopefully I can earn that spot in a Tiger uniform as well.
Jack Pineda is with us, LSU transfer. It's funny, we were talking about Bregman. I remember having this conversation with him during his LSU career because he did not homer a lot during his LSU career. And when he got into the professional organization in Houston, those power numbers came up, and what he said was a lot of times at LSU, he was asked to hit the ball on the ground or on a line, and when he got into the Astros organization, they wanted him to elevate the baseball, and the power numbers went up. Was that part of – you've got 11 homers in 2 years at Baylor. Was that part of that staff's philosophy that at the top of the order they didn't want you elevating the baseball?
I mean, certainly, yeah. Putting the ball in play and just giving myself a chance to leg one out or put it in play hard, and hopefully – if it's at somebody, they have a chance to bobble it or something like that. But it's also Waco's a tough place to hit. The ball doesn't carry as well. So I kind of had the best chance to get on base when I was on a line or on the ground.
A couple more things for you. One, did you consider going into the draft?
Yeah, I did. And it's something that, the nice part about baseball is you don't really have to declare for the draft. So I don't know kind of where my name stands in the draft. But it's got to be the right opportunity, and LSU is really appealing in my mind.
Sure, that makes sense. So if your name was called, you'd still have that option. That does make sense. So what will, let's assume that you do end up in Baton Rouge. What is your summer like before you get here in the fall?
I think just kind of get my body in the best shape that I've ever been, and hopefully that's building some strength and putting on a couple more pounds, and just kind of getting ready to attack the fall and earn my spot in the lineup and on the field.
Well, man, a lot of people here are used to winning championships, man. It's the expectation of this program, and a lot of people I know are excited that you're going to be part of the LSU program. He's Jack Pineda, former Baylor shortstop, now LSU infielder, Jack Pineda. We'll look forward to seeing you here in Baton Rouge, man. Best of luck and congrats on your decision. Thanks for some time today, man.
Thank you for having me.
It's absolutely our pleasure. Y'all be sure to give Jack a follow. He's on Twitter at 1JackPineda. So the numeral 1, Jack Pineda. Y'all give him a follow there on Instagram or on Twitter. He's on Instagram as well. Welcome into Baton Rouge, man. You can tell, did you already said the response from LSU fans has been overwhelming, is how he put it. Sometimes we kind of are, we are kind of numb to it sometimes. For the sake of it. So Jack Pineda right now has 1,028 Twitter followers. 1,028. When I first reached out to him on Twitter, I think he maybe had 800 or so Twitter. That's the starting shortstop at Baylor, who has 800 Twitter followers. The whole "it just means more" thing, I know it's cliche now, but it's true. So for that guy to commit to LSU and then, boom, have this sort of deluge of people reaching out, hitting him up, congratulating him, it's a big deal to those guys. So appreciate Jack. We'll keep in touch with him throughout this offseason. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Shawbills Tire and Auto Service, shawbillstire.com. Bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices. You know the drill. If you need tires, and look, eventually everyone who owns a car is going to need tires. And if you want the comfort and security of knowing that you have the best tires on the road on your vehicle, keeping you and your family safe, Shawbills will sell you the best tires on the road at the cheapest price possible. Shawbillstire.com, hit the promotions tab. You'll see all the deals that they have. But remember, if you need auto service, bumper-to-bumper auto service, name brand tires at wholesale prices, and they treat you like family, that's Shawbills. They're just the best. Shawbillstire.com. Ask about the Charlie's Dozen as well. Shawbillstire.com. Shawbills, where we keep you rolling. All right, it's After Further Review. We'll go around the SEC. Taylor Calandro in about 15 minutes from right now. We'll do Bourbon Dictionary. If you got your booze questions, get them in. You can email me. You can tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Thank you, Juice. You can jump to the Bayou Ford YouTube chat or text me in the 225 at 396-4400, 396-4400. Quick reminder tonight, T-Bob and I back live at Oliver Twist for Scone and Tea, 7 o'clock. If you can't be at Oliver Twist, join us at 7 o'clock on the Watch 104.5 ESPN YouTube or the 104.5 ESPN Facebook page. All right, we'll talk some recruiting with Sam Spiegelman 30 minutes from right now. When we come back, we'll go around the SEC, get you an update from Omaha. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Y'all, summer is here, which means we are spending time outside. And I get it that it's hot, but, man, maybe you're jumping in the pool outside. Maybe you're getting in the lawn and into the garden and beautifying the exterior spaces. Clegg's Nursery can help you do it. 4 locations, full greenhouses, beautiful flowers. People ask me all the time, what's that flower you talk about? We love dippledinas at our house. They are gorgeous. They thrive even in the South Louisiana heat. Big, full, colorful flowers. You will love them in your flower bed or those flower pots by your patio or by your pool. Check them out. They got full nurseries over at Clegg's Nursery. Segan near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Donmore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Remember, if you're having lawn trouble as well, maybe brown spots, any issues like that, Clegg's can help. They have the knowledge and the products to help. Buy local, shop local. Tell them Matt sent you to Clegg's Nursery.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Let's see, they're top 8 in Omaha as we speak. Oklahoma leading Texas A&M 5-1. These are the semis, so remember A&M has to beat Oklahoma twice to advance to the championship series. The Sooners right now are 5 outs away from punching their ticket to the College World Series championship series and sending Oklahoma or Texas A&M packing. Tonight, of course, it'll be Ole Miss against Arkansas, where the Hogs have to beat the Rebs twice to advance. So Oklahoma jumped out 5-0 A&M. A solo homer is all they have to show for it tonight. And Sooners, or this afternoon, I should say, and Sooners look like they're cruising right now, barring some really unexpected comeback from Texas A&M. But it's 5-1 right now, top 8, 1 out. Aggies batting, so Oklahoma 5 outs away. And there's a 1-out walk, so A&M has a runner on base, and see if they can get a little rally going. We'll keep you posted there. All right, it's after further review. Always appreciate you for being here with us. Sam Spiegelman in about 25 minutes. We'll talk some recruiting after LSU had their prospect camp. And looking forward, we'll have Sevyn Banks with us in hour number 3. If you remember, Sevyn Banks is the cornerback from Ohio State who transferred into LSU. He's here now going through summer workouts. He's going to join us in hour number 3. We're looking forward to that. All right, glad to have you aboard with us here. We do it every day about this time. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, presented by Gulf Coast Office Products, excellence in imaging solutions. The Ole Miss Rebels.
So as we mentioned, Ole Miss can punch their ticket to the College World Series championship series with a win tonight. Big question was, who's going to start for the Rebs on the mound? And Mike Bianco has decided he is not going to go with junior righty Derek Diamond. Instead, he's going to go with senior lefty John Gaddis. The Rebs played the Razorbacks at 6. As we mentioned, a win pushes Ole Miss to the championship series. Derek Diamond was Ole Miss's Friday night guy to start this season, but he just didn't perform. His ERA is 6.89 for the season. He did draw the start for the Rebs in their regional clinching win over Arizona, has not been used since. Gaddis, meanwhile, has appeared in 15 games with 6 starts. It'll be John Gaddis for Ole Miss tonight against Arkansas as Ole Miss tries to punch its ticket to the College World Series Championship Series.
The Florida Gators.
Comings and goings in Gainesville. Isaiah Nixon, 4-star pass rusher out of Florida. He is verbally committed to the Gators. He backed off an earlier pledge to Central Florida. He's the number 26 edge rusher in the nation. He originally committed to UCF back in April. 6'4", 215. Had offers from big-time schools, y'all. Bama, Georgia, Southern Cal, LSU, Auburn, Ole Miss, Florida State, and Miami. Now he is the 7th commit for Florida's 2023 class. Meanwhile, 4 Florida Gators have been cut from the football team. Finley Graham, Marcus Burke, Mordecai McDaniel, and Chris Thomas. All 4 players have been removed from Florida's online roster. Remember, that is made legal by NCAA bylaw 15.5.1.7, where a first-year coach does not have to invite back a scholarship athlete to the team. They can cut the player, but the player has the option of remaining enrolled at the school on scholarship. All 4 players, however, are expected to enter the transfer portal.
The Mississippi State Bulldogs.
And how about this? Preview of a premium opportunity is coming to Davis Wade Stadium in Mississippi State this fall, and it's being made to the general public. So, State has announced the release of the balconies. It's essentially the same concept that they use at Dudy Noble Field. Fans can stand under a shaded area in their box and have access to electrical outlets, and they can bring items like tables, chairs, coolers, even a mini fridge into the football stadium. This is in their west upper deck. This will limit the overall capacity of the stadium, but it will allow for more premium seating. It's a $2.5 million project. It'll be open this fall. There are 10 different balconies that can accommodate up to 15 people. The other 12 spots accommodate a variety from 10 to 25 people. All right, there you have it. That is Around the SEC presented by Gulf Coast Office Products. Shout out to our guy Trey Beal and our friends at Gulf Coast Office Products. They're online at gcopnet.com. gcopnet.com for Gulf Coast Office Products. Face-to-face sales, service after the sale. That's what you get at Gulf Coast Office Products, the official office equipment provider of the LSU Tigers, the New Orleans Saints, the New Orleans Pelicans, and of the Raging Cajuns. That is Gulf Coast Office Products, gcopnet.com. By the way, how about that story about Mississippi State and the balconies? It's something several years ago, and if you've listened to the show for a long period of time, you might remember this. If not, I would not be surprised. But several years ago, we had a stadium architect on the show. As a matter of fact, Muse, you may remember this. I think it was I emceed a panel at the Manship School, and I think you were still a student. And there was a stadium architect on this panel. I don't remember his name, and forgive me for that. I feel bad, but
he was from St. Louis, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was from St. Louis or if he was part of the committee that was redesigning that stadium in St. Louis. But anyway, but yes, they did the new U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Anyway, one of the things that he focused on was, and I had him on the show and talked about what he would do with the Superdome. And he mentioned he would create glass walls to where you could see the downtown skyline from inside the Superdome. And he also mentioned removing seating to create premium areas. And that's something they've done. AT&T Stadium was kind of the first, in the end zone where they have that elevated sort of party deck. And a lot of stadiums are starting to do that. They're decreasing capacity and increasing the amount of premium seating because you're never going to fill stadiums anymore. Like LSU is not going to fill Tiger Stadium again. It's just, unless if it's a top 5 matchup, a night game against Alabama, something like that, or Garth Brooks, like you're just not going to fill Tiger Stadium anymore. You can put 70, 80,000 in there, but you're going to have 20, 30,000 choose to stay home, watch it at their tailgate, watch it on their TV, watch it at a bar, whatever. It's not worth going to sit up next to St. Peter and Jesus in the upper deck and cram yourself into a stadium and the parking. I mean, all the logistics, we get it. So how do you incentivize people to come to the game? Well, it's this. It's like what LSU did very, very wisely, by the way, in what they call the Skyline Club. The Skyline Club, the view is awful. I mean, you are at the highest point of Tiger Stadium, but you have a private access elevator, you have private concessions, you have private bathrooms, you have comfortable seating. If you're going to be in the stadium, that's a good way to do it. So hat tip to Mississippi State. I mean, this is a good approach that they're taking with what they're calling what are they calling it again? I had you put the graphic up there. What was it? The balconies. Thank you. That's in my mind. The balconies. They are basically cutting out seating on either end of their upper deck. Like if you're looking, you can see, go to their social media. Basically, if you're looking at their west upper deck, to the right and left ends, top to bottom, they've cut out seats and they've just created these little balcony booths where you have your own booth. It's not a bad idea.
How much would it suck to be the guy whose seat is like in the regular bleachers, though, right next to that now? How much would that suck?
You're just like, you're the guy, like, you're not at the party, you're the bouncer at the party. You're the doorman at the party.
You're just walking through the window, basically, like, oh, God, look at that. This guy's grilling right here, and it looks awesome.
Can I come in?
Yeah.
Bring your own cooler in?
Mini fridge? It's awesome.
You're covered. Rains, no worries. Good idea, bro. Hat tip to Mississippi State for it. All right, it's after further review. All right, after further review, glad you're with us. Quick break. Taylor Calandro is going to join us next. Get your booze questions, get them in. You can always email me, tweet me at Matt Moscona.
Hey, Twitter world.
Juice. And you can text me in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Oh, LSU fans. They're showing LSU fans. Like, Texas A&M and Oklahoma are playing the College World Series. They just put the camera on some random LSU fans in the outfield. It's been a really good advertisement for LSU baseball, even though the Tigers aren't there. All right, text me. I totally forgot my text line.
You are on vacation already, like 100%. 396-4400.
396-4400. I was about to give him Darren James's number, which I'm about to because that's the live. 335-7666. Anyway, all right. Taylor's next.
AFR. It's a raving fan shout-out. Presented by Darren James & Associates, brokered by eXp Realty.
How about this one from Zachary Gibbons, a 5-star Google review. He writes, I highly recommend London Hancock with Darren James & Associates. Cannot put into words the hard work and commitment she put into helping my fiance and I buy our first home. If you're looking for a realtor who have your back, work tirelessly if you buy a home, I would most certainly ask for London. We placed offers on many homes in a competitive market. She was extremely personable and helpful. It's hard to imagine a realtor who could provide as much availability, communication, and attention to detail as London did. 5 stars for Darren James & Associates with eXp Realty. Again, nobody works harder than Darren James. And if you're going to be on Darren's team, that's the standard that's set. Buying or selling, call Darren James. 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet,
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
They're the gang with the slang. This is Bourbon Dictionary with Matt Moscona and Taylor Calandro.
All right, wrapping up hour number one. Glad you are with us here. Let's talk booze. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's good enough to join us. How are you, dude?
Good, Matt. What's going on? The last interview you just had was cool with the new shortstop. Seems like a cool kid.
Well, thank you for listening, Taylor. I appreciate that very much.
That's give a kid a shout out. He sounds like a nice kid.
He did. Yeah. From Albuquerque, the ABQ, and head to the BR.
That's the baseball HQ, man. Something's going on in Albuquerque.
Well, yeah, man.
Good baseball players.
Jason Columbus is over there as well, former Tiger, training kids out there. It's no coincidence. No coincidence. By the way, I'm leaving tomorrow, going to New York. Last time I went on a trip, I went to San Francisco, and you were mad at me for not telling you that I was going because you had great hookups in Napa, which I wasn't able to take advantage of. So you got any hookups for me in New York?
New York, no. That's
okay,
that's
awesome.
Big
Thanks.
Boy city.
Okay, great, wonderful.
I don't have any contacts in New York City at all.
Okay. All right, well, then let's just get to questions. Well, actually, anything new? Fill us in.
We just got Blackened, the distillery that did the collaboration with Willett. Blackened is the Metallica distillery, Metallica owned. But we just got the rye end. It's $84.99. I haven't got a chance to try it. We got it yesterday, but I think it's kind of hard to find. So I don't think the state got a whole lot. We got that, and we also today got Prideful Goat 15-year. If you're not familiar with Prideful Goat, it's a brand organized by the Houston Bourbon Society. A couple of members there, I think, is from what my understanding is, and it's 15-year-old sourced from Heaven Hill. It's a bourbon. So, and we're about to have a barrel from them too, a 6-year rye. So, cool. But anyway, that's $200.
So the
Prideful Goat.
The blackened that you have though is not the blackened Willet.
No, this is their own rye.
Okay. All right, because I was very surprised. I tried the blackened Willet at Oliver Twist, incidentally.
Mm-hmm.
They were that was one of that might have been the first break even bottle that they did when we were there. And I was blown away. Like I you know how I am with whiskeys that are basically just marketing ploys, and I thought that's what that was going to be. But it was actually a fantastic whiskey. I shouldn't have really doubted Willet. They're really good.
Yeah, I think we talked about it last year too.
Yeah,
we
did
at some point when they released it. But I thought it was one of the best fries that I tried last year. It was definitely up there for sure.
All right, let's get to some questions. This one from Loyal, who says, "Ask Taylor, have you tried the bourbon or rye from Fry Ranch out of Nevada?"
No, but I've tried Smoke Wagon from Nevada, but no, I've never heard of Fry Ranch.
Here's one from Glenn that says, "Does Calandro sell nice tumblers to drink out of?"
We do not sell glasses, unfortunately. We've tried to, and they just sit on the shelf, so we don't sell them.
If you want something to fill the glass, however, they can certainly help.
We can definitely assist with that. Absolutely.
JV said, "Small batch, Kirkland brand, any good?" That's got to be that's a Matt Flynn reference. He brought the Kirkland whiskey in here one year for like our draft party, and it was absolutely offensive.
Man, I haven't had Kirkland whiskey since college, probably, so I can't even comment on that. I don't know. It seemed fine then, but that was 15 years ago.
Brian Stacy said, "Tell Taylor his Jameson and ginger ale was a hit in Mexico." So someone took your recommendation.
Wow, I'm surprised you found Jameson in Mexico. I'm totally kidding, but somebody was asking me about that last week. It's like I said, it's one of my favorite summer whiskey beverages out there. It's very easy to make too.
Sean Valino asked Taylor, "Have you tried Jameson Black Label or the Black Barrel?" I guess.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't really have a whole lot of bad to say about Jameson. It's great for what it is. It's Irish whiskey. It's very light. It's very approachable, and Black Barrel's along those same lines too. It's got a little more punch to it, but it's still a good little pour.
Taylor Calandro's with us. Get your booze questions in. Clinton Simpson says, "Hey Taylor, I'm new to bourbon drinking. What's a reasonably priced bourbon that's a good intro?" I know we get that one often, but it's worth sort of revisiting that.
Yeah, I always recommend Basil Hayden's, $35, $40, very approachable, lower proof, got some good flavor. 1792 small batch, $35. Approachable, lower proof whiskey. I would recommend one of those two, or maybe an Elijah Craig small batch too.
How much is 1792 bottled in bond?
You put me on the spot with that. I don't know,
okay.
$70, $80.
Oh, it's that high? Okay, I didn't realize.
I could be completely off base because they have so many different labels, but I would 60, 70. I'm not sure.
Okay, I thought it was less than that because that's one I would recommend.
It could be.
Yeah. Okay, Austin Granger said, "Hey Taylor, what's the best summer beer to drink during the hot season?"
Summer beers. I love IPAs. It's like single IPAs, light fruited sours, Parish Sips. That's a light fruited Berliner sour that they do. That's a really good, refreshing little summer beer.
Okay. A couple more for Taylor Calandro. You can get them in. You can text us in the 225-396-4400. Steven Simino asked Taylor, "I'm headed to New Orleans this weekend. What's a great place to day drink?"
Oh, man. I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, but one of my favorite places to drink in New Orleans during the day is Bayou Beer Garden. And I don't know why. It just is. They do crawfish in the spring. It's usually a ton of people. It's got a cool little back patio area. But that's one of my favorite places to drink in New Orleans. And I know people are going to be like, "What is wrong with that guy?" But anyway, that's my answer.
Each their own. This is from Jay Butcher, who said, "Isaac Bowman Port Barrel Finish, yay or nay?"
Yay. I like all Bowman stuff, and I didn't mind that one either. That's a good one. It's very comparable to Angel's Envy.
Let's see, this one is from Brad Sonier, who says, "How was the Old Elk store pick that y'all did?" He says he got a bottle, but he hadn't opened it yet.
How is it? I think it's good. I mean, we picked it, so I personally think it's good. Yeah, I mean, all the Old Elk stuff that I've had pretty much is good, and especially those higher end ones. The single barrel picks are definitely worth picking up.
About a minute to go. Gerald Mathern asked Taylor if he does his own mix with bourbons. If so, what's his favorite blending? I guess sort of like an infinity bottle, I guess, is sort of what he's saying.
Well, he could be referring to an infinity bottle, and I do not have an infinity bottle. Or he could be referring to Poor Man's Pappy, which is, I mean, there's probably other blends out there, but Poor Man's Pappy is probably one of the most popular blends that people do. 50% Weller 12, 50% Weller 107, put them in a container of some sort and let them sit for 6, 7 months, 8 months, or longer than that, and they call that 4-man pack.
One more. Ask Taylor, do you think Garrison Brothers is better than Blanton's? That's from Wayne LaFosse.
No.
Yeah, me either.
That's like an apples and oranges question, but no, I do not think that. No.
He is Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. Check him out, 2 locations in Baton Rouge, and yell at him for all of his bad answers here. Although I think his answers are pretty good. Thank you, Taylor. Have a great weekend.
All right, Matt. Thank you.
That's our pleasure. Taylor Calandro from Calandro's. This is After Further Review. Brought to you by Pluckers, Nicholson, and Bluebonnet. Wednesday means trivia night, so get on by either Pluckers location, 8 o'clock trivia. All right, to hour number 2, we'll talk some recruiting with Sam Spiegelman next.
AFR.
Hey, look, if you were in the market for a new vehicle, I know buying a vehicle has been tough in the past year or so. It's been hard for places to keep inventory. I tell you every day about South Point Volkswagen. You know where they are, Airline just north of Highland. You can shop them online at southpointvw.com. Would highly recommend you start at the website. If it's on the lot, it's online. And just a couple of weeks ago, they got 4 truckloads of vehicles that arrived on the lot. So they have inventory, a lot of Atlases as well, which is the 3-row, 7-seater family SUV. And of course, look, there are some vehicles that are tough to come by, but what South Point can do, because they've got such a great relationship, because they move so much inventory, they will search to get whatever vehicle that you're looking for. So it's worth a call over there. It's worth stopping by the dealership to say, look, I'm looking for an Atlas, a Tiguan, this color, these features. They'll go shop high and low to find it for you and to get it here in Baton Rouge. SouthPointVW.com. New or certified pre-owned in Baton Rouge and online. South Point Volkswagen. What's your direction?
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safe's Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet.
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
Come on over to Corval Toyota to pre-order your next vehicle. It's an easy and stress-free process. Browse, reserve, pick up, and enjoy. It's that simple. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Sevyn office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Sevyn have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Breaking news. Former NFL defensive tackle Tony Siragusa, part of a stout Baltimore defense which led the Ravens to a Super Bowl title in 2000, has died at the age of 55. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, testifying before the House Committee on Oversight today, said he has no authority to remove Dan Snyder as owner of the Washington Commanders amid ongoing scrutiny into the organization's workplace culture. An NFL owner can only be removed by a 3/4 majority vote of fellow owners. And don't expect that to happen anytime soon, points out ESPN's Dan Graziano.
I would think that, get these guys in an honest moment. They would tell you they don't want to live in a world where they could potentially be forced to sell their teams. Yeah. So they're reluctant to go down that road. So I think that's seen as a pretty dramatic step by the NFL owners, and they're not there yet.
Dan Graziano on Greeny. Snyder declined to testify today. He'll be subpoenaed by the committee next week. Lightning forwards Nikita Kucherov, Nick Paul will play in Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight versus the Avalanche. Center Braden Point remains out. Game 4, 8 Eastern on ABC and ESPN+.
Is your summer staffing situation significantly scarce? Then you need Indeed. Their powerful all-in-one hiring platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Want to find your next great hire? Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studios.
That's right.
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt. I am sweating. Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Musu. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. A little more than an hour from right now, we'll talk to LSU cornerback transfer Sevyn Banks coming in from Ohio State. Very much looking forward to that conversation. LSU had its Elite Camp this past weekend. Sam Spiegelman from On3 Sports, national recruiting analyst, good enough to join us for a couple minutes to talk about what we learned from the weekend in Baton Rouge. Sam, we appreciate you, man. How are you?
Doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Man, it's always our pleasure. Let me start with a very big, broad brush picture for people who aren't like the super into recruiting. What is an elite camp and why is it important?
Basically, what you see around from January on after kids wrap up their junior, sophomore, senior season, not senior, but junior, their underclassmen seasons, a bunch of offers start getting thrown around. And, people really don't know the difference between a committable offer and an uncommittable offer. Sure. Some schools will throw out committable offers during the spring, but for the most part, they are basically invitations to say, we like you, we like how you look, we like how you play, we just want to see you compete, we want you to visit campus, we want to get you coached by our coaches and see how you respond, we want to see, get an in-person evaluation, and at these camps are so critical, whether, this is LSU's Elite Camp, but they've had multiple camps already. They had a O-line, D-line camp to start the summer, followed by a skills camp. They've dished out offers at all of them. They also had a 7-on-7 tournament, a big O-line, D-line camp again, and this is their Elite Camp where they have a lot of guys not only in and around Louisiana and, the neighboring states, but they had guys from California, from Ohio, from Florida, from Georgia, all over the country there, as well as some of their top recruits, some of their top commits, and a lot of the top underclassmen that are now on their radar for the future classes.
So, Sam, we know that Ed Ogeron staff, you had to come to camp. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you had to come to camp to get an offer, to be able to commit. How is Brian Kelly's staff, or is Brian Kelly's staff handling their recruitment process differently from the previous staff?
Well, what Coach O did wasn't, a foreign thing. Les Miles did that as well. You think about guys like Racy, they wanted to get a 40 time on him, and now he's, one of the fastest guys that got drafted by the Titans. So it's a part of the process, especially in Louisiana. What you're seeing with Brian Kelly is, guys that they've evaluated, they've I don't know if you want to say they've offered sooner, but there has been no hesitation. It kind of feels. I was just doing another interview with the Advocate, and it just feels like this is an NFL front office feel. They have done their research on every kid that is in camp. If you ask who a kid is, they can identify him within seconds, and they know the whole background. So if they see something, they don't hesitate. Brian Kelly has been doing his homework. He's people have kind of called him the closer here. He is the final thought on all these kids, whether to offer, whether to take their commitment, whether to push for a commitment, you name it. He's the CEO, but they are layered from top to bottom with guys who have deep backgrounds on all these kids. So when they see something, when the light turns on, they don't hesitate, which has been a criticism of plenty of LSU coaches in the past for not offering kids. It seems like when LSU is ready, they're ready. And so far, it's been very well received by, in and around the Louisiana community.
Sam Spiegelman's with us. He's on Twitter at Sam Spiegs. I'll give him a follow, of course, from On3 Sports. I also saw on your social media you listed the top performers from the LSU Elite Camp. Let's run through that if we could, just a little bit of what really stood out.
Sure.
Let's just start. Let's start at the top. You had the MVP offensive tackle Zalance Hurd. Tell us a little bit about him.
Yeah, this kid is out of this world. LSU is probably going to have Will Campbell be their starting left tackle this coming fall, which is unheard of because he's a freshman, played at Neville last year, but he's a different kind of kid. And let me tell you, when you see Will, he looks like someone who plays offensive tackle in the SEC. When you see Lance Hurd, you also see someone who's going to play offensive tackle in the SEC and play on Sundays one day. He is 6'6". 308 pounds. He has 36.5-inch arms going into his senior season. I don't need to tell you that. Get Mike DePillier on here to tell you about how freakish those arms are, please. The cool thing about Lance is he started his high school career at defensive line. He moved over to right tackle last year for Neville, which was a state semifinalist, I believe. And now he's transitioned very seamlessly over to the left side this year. He's very coachable. He has an incredible football IQ. And freakishly physically put together. You don't see kids that look like Lance Hurd every now and then, and that play at the level that he does at this stage. Far and away the MVP, and most importantly, it's a premium position that just does not come around, I would say, in Louisiana since Will Campbell and Cam Robinson, but kids that look like Lance just don't come around at the high school level almost ever. Yeah. So far and away the MVP of that entire elite camp.
Who else stood out from the camp, Sam?
They had a really great collection of quarterbacks. Not so much in the 2023 class. They've been on campus throughout the time, but they had a good group of 2024s and 2025s. I mean, Walker White is the first guy they offered. Kid from Arkansas. He's their number one player for 2024. He's got a big arm. He's 6'3", 225. I think he ran a 4.6 40, or he ran a 4.7 40 at LSU. He had ran a 4.6 40 probably 2 days before and has probably been on the road for 2 days. But just rifling passes downfield, had the strongest arm, I think, at the camp. They had a 2025 quarterback, Colin Hurley, who's a nationally sought-after recruit. That's his second or third visit to Baton Rouge, and he wanted to work out for the staff. He had a big visit before the workout, and then kind of really, for a 2025 kid to be a top performer is pretty rare. So Colin Hurley is stand out with Walker White as one of the top performers. I think that says a lot about what his future holds. The same goes for Jake Merklinger, who comes from Georgia. We obviously know that, Georgia produces quarterbacks at a really high level, and this is another tall, big-arm quarterback. I thought he was really sharp throwing the outside and kind of with anticipation, with touch for a 2024. I think he's high on LSU's radar. Big thing is they had a lot of really talented quarterbacks for really 2024, and that's probably beyond. They have to figure out 2023, don't get me wrong, but this staff, like I said, it's an NFL front office staff, it feels like. They're doing their homework, and they really want to use this camp season to get a look at the best quarterbacks, and not just in Louisiana, not just in Texas, but in the whole entire country. And they're putting together their list of guys that they're going after to make sure they're going after the best, and then the second best, and then the third best. And it definitely showed during the elite camp.
Sam, a couple more for you. Sam Spiegelman from On3 Sports is with us. 5 commits for LSU right now. Is it in any way concerning that the number's not higher right now?
No, I think that things are going to start to pick up toward July and August. Right now June is big for official visits now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that wasn't the case 5 years ago, but a lot of these kids are taking spring and summer OVs, and they're going to try to sit and make a decision before their senior season. So I think LSU is about to go on a run here in the next couple of weeks, couple of months, just because of the time of the year. It's the end of June. They've had a ton of kids on campus in June. You'll start to see some decisions being made in July in the dead period, and then gearing up for the fall, they're going to have a few more commitments in place. I'd imagine at a certain point, whether it's at the end of the summer, before sometime during the fall, they're going to have to lock in their quarterback, and then you obviously know that the elite guys tend to wait till the back end of the fall, December, early signing period, in some cases February, to make their decisions. So. I know that they would love, summer is a time to start loading up on commits, and I expect that LSU will. Like I said, camp season, they're moving very methodically. They're not rushing. I think under Coach O, that's a big difference. I think that they would probably have 17 or 18 commitments almost by the end of camp season. They saw a kid and they pushed for a commitment, where this staff is they're not only evaluating Louisiana and Texas and Mississippi, they're going national, and they're going one step at a time. And I don't think there's any rush, because the way that things are going, they could be in a really good spot with maybe 15 commits by the time that the season rolls around.
Just for comparison as well, I mean, Alabama's sitting there with 5 commits as well. I don't think anybody in Tuscaloosa is worried about the relative lack of number of commits. We're just kind of all learning, right? I mean, it's a new staff, a new way of doing things, so we're all just kind of learning together. Sam Spiegelman will follow the coverage, man, on 3 Sports. Make sure you follow him. He's on Twitter at Sam Spiegs. Give him a follow. Always appreciate it, Sam. Thanks, man.
Yep, have a good one, Matt.
May you do the very same. All right, it's After Further Review, brought to you by Pluckers, title sponsor of our Hump Day shows all throughout the year. Some basketball news I do need to get to. LSU has added a basketball opponent for this upcoming season. Sharif O'Neal, kind of beefing with his dad a little bit about his decision to go pro. We'll let you hear from Sharif in just a sec. And the Pels are reportedly shopping Devontae Graham ahead of tomorrow's draft. So we'll dive into all of that. So got overrated, underrated coming up. Saints have added a free agent tight end. We'll get to that in the next hour. LSU transfer Sevyn Banks joins us in the next hour as well. So a ton to do, and glad you're hanging out with us here on AFR.
AFR.
Brought to you by River City's 1 Hour Air, where they're always on time or you don't pay a dime. Listen, you know the drill, man. It's 100 degrees every single day. Heat indexes in the triple digits. If you have issue with your home central AC, get to a phone and call 752-0001. 752-0001 for River City's 1 Hour Air. Listen, you know that by now. You drive around town, you see the big yellow trucks and vans. Just yesterday, I was driving down Segan Lane at a red light, boom, big River City's 1 Hour Air van right in front of me. So many of your friends and neighbors trust River City's 1 Hour Air. Tell you every day, go read the Google reviews. I read a ton of them to you, but the bottom line is you're not in business for 40 years at the highest level if you're not doing something right. That's why they are literally the best. It's River City's 1 Hour Air. And if you're looking for a career instead of a job, ability to control your hours, how much money you make, great benefits, River City's 1 Hour Air wants to talk to you. Give them a buzz, 752-0001, or online at onehourbr.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
The best things in summer are unofficial. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money.
Well, you can tell everybody. Yeah, you can tell everybody. Go ahead and tell everybody. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all you can eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
First year under Matt McMahon, schedule is coming together a little bit. We knew that LSU was going to play in the Cayman Island Classics. We now know who their opening game will be. It'll be against Illinois State. That was announced today. So Tigers will face Illinois State. The tournament's held November 21st through the 23rd there at John Gray Gymnasium in Grand Cayman, just minutes away from the world-famous 7 Mile Beach. I've actually been to Grand Cayman and spent a week there. Phenomenal time. Really great spot. If you go, I will put I would love to put this challenge to someone if you go to Grand for this, or if you just go to Grand Cayman. There's a bar in Grand Cayman called the Pirate's Den. A lot of locals go there. I had a buddy who was in med school at St. Matthew's in Grand Cayman. Can you imagine like being in med school at Grand Cayman when everybody's talk about the what do we call the what were the things that they're called in Mississippi State that they're doing?
The balconies.
Okay, the balconies. You still talking about? Can you imagine being in the next seat over from the balconies? Like you're up there high-fiving St. Peter, and they're actually having a good time. You imagine being in med school? Like my buddies stay like their dorms are in these resorts. So like his dorm, right? So like his dorm, air quotes, was at Treasure Island or one of the resorts there. So like he's studying in med school like outside of his door. It's like the steel drum and people are drinking the whole time, swim up bars. Like it would actually be kind of miserable.
Yeah, that sucks.
Anyway, completely a deviation here, but LSU is going to play Illinois State in the first game. This is not exactly a net booster that you might be looking for, the NET ranking. Illinois State last year was 13-20. They fired their coach. They got a new coach now, Ryan Peden, who was an assistant at Ohio State. They were 8th in the Missouri Valley. Antonio Reeves was their best player last year, averaged 20 a game. He's a 6'6" shooting guard. Antonio Reeves is now playing at Kentucky. That'll put some perspective on it, right? A shooting guard that scored 20 a night on a bad team is now at Kentucky. It kind of tells you what they are. So, but the schedule's kind of coming together a little bit for Matt McMahon here in the first year. We know they're going to play Texas Tech in the Big 12 SEC Challenge, and now we know they'll play Illinois State and Grand Cayman. The other teams in the Classic are Western Kentucky, Akron, Nevada, Tulane, and then Rhode Island and Kansas State are the others. So schedule's coming together a little bit. Meanwhile, a couple of former Tigers now former Tigers, hoping to hear their name called tomorrow night's NBA draft. Tari Eason, of course, we are expecting to be, if not a lottery pick, just outside of the draft lottery. Darius Days also stayed in the draft process, as did Sharif O'Neal. But Sharif stayed in the draft process apparently in opposition of his dad, Shaq's wishes. Now, Tari Eason's going to be drafted. We know that. And that'll keep a streak going. It'll be 4 straight years that LSU's had a draft pick. That's the first time since a 5-year run from 05 to 09. So there's a little bit of a dearth of talent there from Trent Johnson into Johnny Jones. And it's really been sort of inconsistent. But when Tari Eason's drafted, that'll be 4 straight years that LSU's had a player picked. I don't think that Darius Days or Sharif O'Neal are going to be picked in this draft. I don't think that is in any way a hot take. Darius Days is not does not have an NBA skill set. And Sharif O'Neal has battled so much, from open heart surgery to injuries his 2 years at LSU, to where he barely got on the floor. But he got an opportunity to go to these pre-draft workouts for a lot of teams, and he took it. He was in L.A. working out for the Lakers, as a matter of fact, yesterday, and that's where Sharif was asked about his decision to stay in the draft. And it was a decision that his dad, Shaq, didn't agree with.
He's big on education, and I felt like in college I wasn't getting an opportunity. I wasn't feeling like myself in college. I got that invite to the G League Elite Camp, and that opened a lot of doors for me. I said that before. That I feel like that really brought me back and kind of showed a little bit of what I can do. And then once I started getting calls from teams to work out, I was like, man, this is what I want to do. Like, I'm here. It's right in front of me. Just go for it. So I continued to work. He didn't like that idea at all. It sucks that he didn't like that idea, but I'm a grown man. I'm 22 years old. I can make my own decisions. So it was right in front of my face. I'm not backing up from. I'm gonna go get it if I see it. So that's just how I'm built. I take everything the same way. I took my heart surgery the same way. Being cleared was right in front of me. Being healthy was right in front of me. I went for it. I'm not backing down from no one. I know he's an NBA legend. I know he's my dad, but it's right in front of me. I had to go get it. So if he likes it or not, it's not really going to stop me from doing what I want to do. And like I said, I want to play basketball. I want to get it, so I'm here.
Well, he had a lot to say, didn't he? That was a 53-second answer. That's a lot of talking. And you could tell he had a lot to say about the matter. And you heard him say it sucks. It does suck. I mean, as a kid, look, I see it from 2 perspectives. Most of you listening right now are parents. Not all, but most. And so you'll understand this perspective. As a parent, you want what's best for your kid, no matter what that is. If it's your son is a potential professional athlete, draft prospect, if it's you want your kid to go to college, get a degree, you want your kids to be able to provide for their family, whatever. My want for my child is very different because we walked a different path, but it doesn't matter what the path is. Every parent wants the same thing. You just want what's best for your child. And I'm sure that's what Shaquille wants for Sharif. But similarly, kind of got to let go. And I think most LSU fans are going to pull for Sharif O'Neal. I mean, he has battled a lot. I mean, kid had open heart surgery. He's battled a lot of injuries at LSU, but he was a top 100 player in the country coming out of high school when he originally signed with Arizona, and then, of course, Sean Miller got fired, and then he decommitted, ended up at UCLA, had the heart surgery, came to LSU. We all know the story now, but as a prospect, there was a lot there. There was a lot that a lot of people liked about Sharif O'Neal. He's not going to get drafted. I mean, it would take a team just taking a total flyer on a guy who's Shaq's kid, right? And I don't mean to be completely dismissive of Sharif, but he just doesn't have skins on the wall or the skill set to say, yep, that warrants being one of the 60 players taken in the draft. Well, we've seen undrafted guys make teams before. I mean, there's dudes who made a big impact for the Pelicans, the playoffs this past year, who were undrafted guys. So pulling for Sharif, man. I really, really hope that it works out exceptionally well for him, however it works out. And hopefully this is the right decision. And maybe the better path would have been spend another year in school, actually get a chance to play, build your skill set, and then move on. But like I said, it's got the opportunity here. We'll see where he takes it. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge, Ambassador Caffrey in Lafayette, and online at theantiagingclinics.com, theantiagingclinics.com. Speaking of the draft, the Pels could be movers in the draft. I'll get back to that in a second. But remember, at the Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana, you want to look and feel like your younger self. There's a way to do it. The Aesthetic Medicine and Anti-Aging Clinics of Louisiana. Hormone replacement therapy could be the solution for you, but you won't know until you do a simple blood test. Simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate for HRT. You'll meet with Dr. Todd Howell. He'll sit down with you and let you know how he would treat you and get you feeling like your younger self again. We all age. We all age at a different rate. So no matter what the number of your age is irrelevant. It's how do you feel. If you want to feel better, you can. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. TheAntiAgingClinics.com. I mentioned that the Pels are potentially looking for a trade partner for Devontae Graham. This was according to Brian Windhorst. Give a listen.
If Washington was involved in a trade where they either picked up a guard for their pick or swapped their pick to another team, potentially maybe even the New Orleans Pelicans, who are shopping Devontae Graham, looking to pick up a guard in this deal with their draft pick.
So mentioned Washington there as a potential landing spot. New Orleans is interesting because I think tomorrow's draft for the Pelicans is completely unpredictable. If they do decide to trade Devontae Graham, it wouldn't be a tremendous surprise to me because the Pels are very deep at the guard spots. And as we've talked about, you're getting Kyra Lewis back next year as well from injury, and you hope that he takes that step that we all hope that he can take as an NBA player, and the reason that the Pelicans invested a draft pick in him like they did. But I would not be surprised if the Pelicans made the 8th pick. I would not be surprised if the Pelicans packaged picks and players to move up to get a player that they really liked. I would similarly not be surprised if the Pelicans moved back in this draft. If there was a team somewhere in the 10 to 12 range who wanted to jump up to 8 because there's a player that they really like that they do not believe would be there in the 10 to 12 range, that would make a lot of sense. And if you're New Orleans and you don't have a definitive need and there's a player that you could maybe draft and stash, however you want to make it work, you can make it work in this draft, and you are deep enough at guard. It's so fascinating because usually when we talk about the Pelicans, we're talking about one of two extremes. We're talking about, hey, you have the number 1 pick in the draft and you're going to take Zion. And we're thrilled about that. Or it's a team that's been such a part of a losing culture and a losing franchise and a losing organization that you have so many needs that any great player would fit. This roster is built to a point where they're ready to win now. I mean, you were a playoff team. You all know it. I mean, you're a playoff team, and you're going to add Zion to a playoff team that already has 2 other All-Stars on it with Brandon Ingram and C.J. McCollum. So you get Brandon Ingram, C.J. McCollum, Zion. That's a big 3. And then you add the exciting young players, Herb Jones's defense. You got Trey Murphy, some 3-and-D there. Of course, Jose Alvarado throwed a lot of people. I mean, Jonas Valanciunas is one of the true throwback bigs in the league right now. I mean, they don't have a need. Like, man, for so many years we talked about the Pelicans like, you have got to get a wing. They didn't have a wing. Well, when you made the trade for Brandon Ingram, that's done. You got a wing. You got maybe the best, your 3-man in the NBA, arguably. So, or one of them for sure. I'm excited to see because it feels like we're watching tomorrow as a Pelicans fan with no stress or anxiety. Like, whatever they do, like, it's going to be okay because the roster is ready to compete to win now. And all they can do is make it better or add assets that will allow them to continue building with flexibility, maybe at this year's trade deadline or into the future. All right, so we'll keep our eye on Devontae Graham if the Pels do, in fact, move him before tomorrow's draft or during tomorrow's draft. All right, it's After Further Review We'll knock out a quick break. Come back. We'll do overrated, underrated. We got Tigers and the pros. 30 minutes from right now, Saints have added a tight end. We'll talk about that when we cut in about 30 minutes from right now. Stick around. It's AFR.
AFR.
Baton Rouge General Hospital is expanding healthcare in the Baton Rouge area at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. Of course, they got campuses all over town. They got the Mid-City location, the Bluebonnet campus as well, the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital. I want to remind you, though, the Mid-City ER, this was something, the Mid-City ER had been closed, and mid-COVID, when our community needed it, the Baton Rouge General reopened their Mid-City ER. You can learn more at brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org, for the Baton Rouge General Hospital. And, of course, you can always visit any of their locations for whatever medical needs you may have. And, of course, there's the Ascension Neighborhood Hospital and the Express Care locations. brgeneral.org, brgeneral.org. The Baton Rouge General Hospital is part of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, expanding healthcare in Baton Rouge. It's the Baton Rouge General Hospital, brgeneral.org.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2021 Jeep Wranglers and Jeep Gladiators on our lot now with $5,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to front-to-backboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information,
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge wants to recognize a member of our community with an honorary ESPN ESPY Award. This year, the ESPYs are celebrating the 50th anniversary of Title IX and we are looking for local athletes, administrators, or community volunteers who actively work to expand access to sports for girls. Visit 1045ESPN.com now through Wednesday, July 6th to submit a nomination. We'll name our ESPY recipient on Wednesday, July the 13th. Then tune in to the ESPYs, presented by Capital One on Saturday, July 20th at 7 p.m. on WBRZ TV.
And this is a tremendously sad day for the Baltimore Ravens. You probably by now have heard this news, and this does hit close to home. Jalen Ferguson died late Tuesday night at the age of 26. If you don't remember, Jalen Ferguson played at Louisiana Tech. I believe he went to East Feliciana. Forgive me if I'm getting that wrong. I know it was either East or West Feliciana. I think he was at East Fel. Forgive me if I'm wrong, please. But went to Louisiana Tech and was magnificent. He left as the career sacks record holder for the FBS. He had 45 career sacks at Louisiana Tech. Remember, Tech played in Baton Rouge a couple of years ago, and we talked so much about Jalen Ferguson being the guy that you really had to put the clamps on. He was a third-round pick by the Ravens in the 2019 draft, and was one of the guys who he's been at all the offseason workouts and was expected to have a big impact this year, but died. The cause of death is unknown as of this point. Medical examiner will conduct an autopsy to determine the cause of death, but sincere condolences to friends and family of Jalen Ferguson, the Louisiana Tech community, the Ravens, and Patrick Queen, former LSU Tiger, tweeted that Ferguson was the last person he saw before he left the facility after minicamp. It's very, very sad, man. They did not rule out the possibility of an overdose. You hate to just go there, but there was no signs of trauma or foul play, so it leads you to believe something like that. But we will wait and see. We'll wait and see what the autopsy reveals. But terribly sad. And then it got even worse for the Baltimore Ravens. Like, we just saw this news break. Tony Siragusa, the longtime interior lineman for the Ravens, known as the Goose, who did a stint on Fox Sports as a sideline reporter for their NFL broadcast. Tony Siragusa died today as well, at the age of 55. So he was part of that Baltimore Ravens defense in 2000, which is right alongside the 85 Bears as the two greatest defenses, considered the two greatest defenses in NFL history. But two body blows for the Ravens organization, that community. Jalen Ferguson dead at the age of 26, and Tony Siragusa dead today at the age of 55. Just condolences to all. All right, it's after further review. It's hard to transition from something so heavy to something kind of light, but we always do it here in this slot here on Wednesdays. We do overrated, underrated. So take it away, Muse.
Overrated or underrated?
I personally think he's criminally underrated.
Presented by Cellivate. Cellivate is a revolutionary health-aware approach to energy, focus, and mood enhancement.
Hey, when you were at the beach, did you try your Cellivate?
Didn't.
You didn't try it?
Didn't try it. Shame on me. Didn't try it. I'll have an opportunity maybe tonight.
All right.
Maybe I could take a Cellivate with me to Oliver Twist.
To do that.
Of course, we got scone and tea tonight, but then again, if I drink a Cellivate now and then again tonight, I might not sleep, especially with the anticipation of tomorrow flying to New York City.
I don't think that's how they say it up there.
Oh, it's the old salsa commercial.
Oh, okay.
You don't remember that commercial?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Really?
Yeah, that's not ringing a bell, honestly. What was that? That's not how it normally sounds.
This stuff's made in New York City. New York City. Ever seen that?
I don't know what that is.
Sometimes I'm not an old guy.
No,
I'll be 40 in a few weeks, but I'm not old.
Huh.
But damn it, there's times when I realize I'm getting older.
How old is that?
Here you go, Muse.
So good. Love that. Overrated.
What's one of the famous salsa?
You don't even know what salsa it is.
Does it matter? You remember the commercial? What There's things I can point out.
I mean,
from the Super Bowl, I could point out, concepts from Super Bowl ads. Doesn't mean you remember what the ad was for.
Does that make
Paul,
it
do you
an
know what I'm talking
ineffective
about?
ad?
The New York City salsa.
I don't.
It was New York City salsa?
No, it was like I think it was paste picante.
Stuff's good. I like that stuff.
Let me make sure. Yeah, that's it. Like they're sitting around a camp. Here it is. All right, hold on. Here it is. Here it is. All right, hold on. 1993.
Born.
The year you were born. Oh God. Hold on.
That's to make you feel older.
We are so late right now. We got to get going. But here you go. Cue this up. Campfire.
Roy, more paste picante sauce. There you go. Roy, this ain't paste. Well, so what? Paste is made in San Antonio by folks who know what picante sauce should taste like.
Hey, this stuff's made in New York City.
New York City?
Pick up the original. Pick up the pace.
There you go.
That's a good tagline.
Wait, you missed the wait. Like maybe we're a bit tough on. They got him tied to the back of the car. Like maybe we're a bit tough on old Roy, and they got him tied to the back of the car.
I want to know why Roy just had salsa in his back pocket to toss to these guys. That was
And they're camping.
Was rather convenient.
They're camping.
Overrated or underrated? Usher.
One of my all-time favorites.
Oh, okay.
I love Usher. I've often told my family if I had to be a performer, I think I'd want to be Usher.
Wow.
He's
okay.
he's beloved by everyone.
He's good.
Tell me someone who hates Usher.
I can't. Off the top of my head, I
Beloved by
can't.
everyone, good-looking, can sing, can dance, and universally beloved. Can he act as well as Usher been in movies?
I'm sure he has.
Probably. Like, Usher. Massively under Usher Raymond when he drops on nice USHERRAYMOND. I just wanna take it nice and slow. And then he drops Yeah, which was the best hit of the 2000s. It was the #1 hit of the 2000s. Bro, Usher, massively underrated. Usher.
I actually don't see a filmography for him, so I guess he doesn't act. But I mean, he probably could.
Usher, top 10 entertainer, top 5 entertainer of the last 30 years.
Okay. Overrated or underrated? Surfing.
That's massively overrated.
Okay.
It's why it's so niche. It sounds cool. It's not cool. You have to wear a bodysuit. You're normally surfing in the Pacific, which is freezing. There are sharks in the Pacific everywhere. There's not much appeal to surfing, which is why so few people do it. Overrated.
Overrated or underrated? Rum.
I'm going to say rum is underrated. So whiskey is the big category. Of course, bourbon that everyone is kind of going gaga over the last 5-7 years. It's certainly had a moment. But if you ask people, like Taylor will tell you, he is more of a rum guy than a whiskey guy. It's sweeter. It's very easy to drink, as opposed to some whiskeys, which are higher proof and hotter. Rum, I will tell you, is an underrated spirit. Yes, underrated on rum.
Overrated or underrated? Cornhole.
I'm going to say cornhole, also underrated. I think we laugh at the cornhole tournaments because, like, oh, look at these idiots playing cornhole. But the interesting thing about cornhole is I am very big on things that anybody can do, right? And anybody can be competitive. It's why golf is very difficult. Not everyone loves bowling, but if you put up the bumpers, it's easier because everybody can do it. That's why bowling is a better thing than golf to do for a group. Cornhole is something anybody can do. It doesn't mean you're going to be great at it, but you just throw the beanbag. I mean, are there people who are better and highly skilled if you watch it? Yes, absolutely. But cornhole is something that everybody can do. It's a fun, bar sort of drinking or beach, barbecue type game. Yes, cornhole. Cornhole is underrated. Yes. Underrated.
Overrated or underrated? A cruise.
A cruise. I'm also going to go underrated on the cruise. And by the way, when you look at the cost of jet fuel right now, you looked at the price to fly. I'm flying tomorrow. The price to fly, you're talking 30 to 40%, increases right now on the cost of airline tickets. You don't get that with cruises. Cruises are affordable. all inclusive, so eat whatever you want, right? You don't have to worry about anything as far as travel. They're just taking you where you go. I understand the cruises got a lot of bad pub because people got sick on the ship and got stranded, the whole thing that happened. I get it. But relative to the number of cruises that depart out of ports every day, that's an outlier. Cruises are actually, you don't have to love them. Again, this isn't something that I love telling you I love, but cruises are underrated. Yes.
That's overrated or underrated?
This is after further review. Overrated, Underrated is provided by Cellivate. Energize your cells with Cellivate. Don't just go out and get a common garden variety energy drink. Get Cellivate in Baton Rouge at the Matherns, right there at campus, or Rouse's locations anywhere except for in Baton Rouge. They're still working on distribution in Baton Rouge. So let's get that moving there, by the way, or Cellivate.com. You can order at Cellivate.com. They'll deliver it right to your door. Cellevate, Cellivate.com. Don't just hydrate. Cellivate. Okay. Well, now I got a quick break. Muso will have Tigers in the pros. We'll talk about Saints signing a tight end in 15 minutes, and Tiger transfer Sevyn Banks, cornerback from Ohio State. He's going to join us in about 30 minutes from right now. Glad you're here. It's AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Insurance Network of Louisiana. Y'all, we all know what's happening right now with our economy. And 95% of Americans have said they are changing their spending habits as a result of what's happening with the economy right now. 95%. That's staggering. So, if you're looking for a way to make your dollar go further, start with your insurance. We all have to have it by law, and we all auto-draft it out of our account, and too many of us are overpaying and underinsured. Insurance Network of Louisiana shops independently for free dozens of the top-rated companies in the world. If you're sitting there today with Liberty Mutual, and you've had them for 3-5 years or longer, you're overpaying. Let Insurance Network of Louisiana shop to get you better coverage for less money. 293-0450, 293-0450, or lainsurance.net.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension, Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet,
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more.
Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
I'm out tomorrow and Friday. Leah Van of The Advocate is going to be hosting, and I thank her very much for listening because she just tweeted me, hey, at Matt Moscona, there was an Usher movie. I told Leah that Musso could help hold her hand along this way and hosting the show if you need it. Leah, I regret to inform you, apparently you will actually be the one helping him because a simple Wikipedia search netted an Usher movie, and Musso couldn't even find that.
I mean, I was also trying to do Overrated, Underrated at the same time.
Also,
we were
at
up against
Catahoula Kerr tweeted Usher was in the faculty, wasn't he? Musso.
I mean, it's not like a real movie.
It's 4:51. It's all explained now. Never mind. Those gummies are starting to hit, aren't they? Can't wait to hear what you have to say during Tigers and the Pros. You're probably just going to make up names all together and stuff like that and giggle and snort and eat some Fritos.
I have never done that in my life. All those Fritos are delicious.
They are. Musso, Tigers and the Pros.
Tigers and the Pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, where Baton Rouge gets engaged.
So, we know that Sylvia Fowles is dealing with a bit of a knee injury right now.
Big Sil.
But she was
you
named.
Get the Fritos?
Pass the Fritos over here. She was named a captain for the WNBA All-Star Game, so she'll get to pick a team. This will be her 8th All-Star Game in her career, of course. She will retire at the end of the season, she being Sylvia Fowles.
Big Sil. That's so good.
It's pretty good. Alex Lang last night held it down for the Detroit Tigers. 1 inning. It was perfect. Shutout baseball. No walks. Strikeout through 11 pitches, 8 strikes. ERA back down to 2.03. But the Tigers lost to the Red Sox. Sorry, Otter.
Yeah, Otter had a rough night.
Otter had a tough one. Josh Smith made his return to the lineup last night. Promptly singled in his first at bat back off the injured list.
So good. They grooved him a fastball. He just yanked it to right field.
They'll learn. It's okay. He can hit the curveball too. He's pretty good at that as well. 1 for 3, all in all, for Josh Smith last night. He's hitting 400 in the major leagues. Look for him again tonight when the Rangers take the field. Alex Bregman yesterday, really solid. No. Really solid night. 2 for 3 at the plate. A couple singles. Scored a run. Also drew a walk. Also today, a little matinee action for the Astros. Home run for Bregman, part of another big day. And another Astros victory as well over the New York Metropolitans.
First time the Mets have been swept in a series all year.
Dude, they've been sneaky good.
It was a 2-game series, but still.
Baseball in New York, it's popping off right now, man. And speaking of which...
Looking forward to being there.
Hey, man. Speaking of which, DJ LeMahieu last night...
We don't have to mention the result of the game, though.
Well, I mean, hold on. DJ, 2 for 3 last night with a double, his 13th of the season. Also drew a walk, 2 RBI on the night as well. Dude just continues to hit, has his entire major league career. Yankees tonight go for the series victory over the Rays. They lost last night 5-4.
I lost count. How many games are the Yankees leading the division?
I think it's 12 and a half, actually. I think.
I got it right. It's 11 and a half. Got it right here. 11 and a half.
They lost last night.
There it is. Yeah, 11 plus.
11 and a half. 50 and 18. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty decent there. How that plays. That's Tigers in the Pros.
Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. Gentlemen, if you are thinking of popping the question, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com. 2 locations in Baton Rouge, 9 in all. You will always get a beautiful diamond that will thrill her, make you the hero, and you will always get the Lee Michaels experience. lmfj.com. I just am really excited about this because I get to play this. Former National Player of the Year, Jimmer Fredette. You don't have it. The hour's over now, Moose. The hour's over.
Nah, we got time.
We talked about it before the show. Jimmer Fredette's playing in the basketball tournament. I was excited because I wanted to play Teach Me How to Jimmer. And Muso killed my buzz. Because he's got a buzz.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, 288-8138, or ReliefWindows.com. Windows, doors, siding, Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Tell you every day about their beautiful energy-efficient replacement windows, their replacement doors as well. But remember, Hardy Plank and vinyl siding. Go to the website and scroll down, and you'll see right there the siding tab on the right side. You can get all the info. If you're tired of painting your home, you never want to paint your home again, Hardy Plank vinyl siding, it's a great option. Durable, great quality, innovative, it's energy efficient, it's cost effective, weather resistant, long lasting. Learn more at ReliefWindows.com. And I'll remind you that when you install energy efficient replacement windows, you install Hardy Plank or vinyl siding, you will get credit when you go to sell that home. As far as resale value, you will get that investment back when you sell your home. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. 288-8138, ReliefWindows.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Sevyn office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Sevyn have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Miller Lite has more taste and only one more calorie than Michelob Ultra.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi with the latest injury news for Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final tonight, 8 Eastern on ABC. Lightning forwards Nikita Kucherov and Nick Paul, both hurt in Game 3, will play against Colorado, while center Braden Point remains out. The absence of Point is a big one for the two-time defending champs, notes ESPN's Kevin Weeks.
His ability in that bumper position is so unique. Being in the middle, down low, at 5-on-5, or especially on the power play, his ability to handle the puck is so unique, but at least it's offset by the fact that the captain, Steven Stamkos, who had a career best season in terms of points in the regular season, assists. He looks like himself. He scored a huge goal last game, top shelf, Bucci, and he looks great.
Kevin Weeks on the point. The U.S. House Oversight Committee will subpoena Washington Commanders owner Daniel Snyder for a deposition next week. He declined to testify today, citing overseas work commitments. The committee is investigating the team's workplace culture. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell testified today he has no authority to remove Snyder as owner of the Commanders amid the ongoing scrutiny. An NFL owner can only be removed by a 3/4 majority vote of his fellow owners.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you have in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge Studios. That's right.
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. AFR, presented by Pluckers. I'm Matt.
This is Jack O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
Chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Yusuf. And Mr. Toby Tomplay. We're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you're driving home with us. And ooh, by the way, it's hump day. Yep.
It's hump day.
It is hump day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
For you.
Hump day.
Because I'm getting out of here after this.
It's hump day.
Well, actually, I'm going to Oliver Twist after this.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got to spend an hour with tons of fun. But after that,
it's hump day.
I'm off.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Heading to New York City.
Hump day.
Go watch the Yankees play.
It's hump day.
Best team in baseball.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
On pace for the best record in the history of baseball, Muse.
Hump day.
It's hump day.
Gonna catch a Broadway show.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Gonna watch MJ.
Hump day.
Michael Jackson.
It's hump day.
Not Michael Jackson. He's been dead for a while now.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Got some really good restaurant reservations already set up.
Hump day.
Cocktails at rooftop bars and whatnot.
It's hump day.
Oh, gonna live it up.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
I will not be here tomorrow.
Hump day.
Or Friday.
It's hump day.
But we still got work to do here. Jack Pineda was here in hour 1.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
The LSU baseball transfer from Baylor.
Hump day.
Sam Spiegelman was here in hour 2.
It's hump day.
Set to chat with Sevyn Banks, the Ohio State transfer, here in a few minutes.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
Oh, and by the way, Game 4 of the NHL Stanley Cup Finals tonight means we'll get a pick from Calandro, who's ready to make some money. to make some money. All right.
It's hump day.
We do need to make some money after last night. Otter was on a roll, but the gambling gods giveth and they taketh away. Otter was staring an 0-5 in the face last night just to make sure he stayed humble after his hot streak. But thankfully, the Chicago White Sox came through with some miracle win. I didn't even know they won the game until today, but thank God they won that one. So 1-4 last night, but we're back on it today. Otter, I did reach out to Otter earlier, gave me Oklahoma. So we had a money line play on Oklahoma at the College World Series, which hit. You better believe we'll have a pick tonight on Ole Miss and Arkansas. And then we're going to have Colucci here. Give us the hockey pick as well. I mean, might as well just catch that ticket. All right. A lot to do. Glad you're here. Thanks for being here on a Hump Day edition of AFR. So all offseason, as we've talked about the New Orleans Saints, we have talked primarily about the need for help in two spots on the offensive side of the ball. The spot defensively has been defensive tackle that we've talked about, and I think there's still work to do there. But we've talked about running back. We've talked about tight end. I think those were both spots that they could have addressed in the draft, didn't because they made trades and just didn't have enough draft capital. Otherwise, they likely would have. Still have not yet addressed running back. They did address both running back and tight end in undrafted free agency. We've talked a lot about Abram Smith, running back from Baylor, and, of course, Lucas Krull, the tight end from Pittsburgh, was the other sort of, I don't want to call it like a big-ticket item, but as far as undrafted free agents go, he's a guy that some think have a really good shot of making this team. The Saints did, however, add a free agent tight end on Wednesday. The Saints announced that they've added tight end Brandon Dillon. Right. I'm not going to oversell you on this. I'm not. But it is interesting for a few reasons, which we'll go through. Okay, Brandon Dillon, you've never heard of him. That's okay. He went to a college called Marion, like Maid Marian, from Robin Hood. Marian, Marion. He's 25 years old, spent the first 3 years of his career with the Vikings, went to the Jets late last season. They released him after the draft. He did have a productive senior year in college where he averaged 17 yards per catch. He's only dressed for 5 games in his career, primarily as a special teamer, although he does have some offensive snaps. He made 1 career catch. Okay. Let's look at a couple of angles here, what the Saints have, what they look for out of tight end, and why this may be a fit. Number one, the biggest hope for the Saints this year at tight end is that Adam Troutman in year 3 takes the big leap. I don't know that I believe that's going to happen. I was very bullish on Troutman when they drafted him. I liked the pick a lot. They were clearly, very clearly going to move on from Jared Cook, which they did. Troutman got a lot more action late in the 2020 season. In 2021, just didn't really happen for him. He was a better blocker than he was a pass catcher, and that surprised many. For the season, Troutman finished with 27 catches on 43 attempts and just 263 receiving yards. It was just not what we had hoped for in year 2 for Adam Troutman. Let's hope this is the year he takes a step. If not, they're going to be looking for other options. Yes, you have Taysom Hill there. Yes, you have Juwan Johnson, but it is very clear, and we all know this, neither one of those guys is playing a traditional tight end spot. Juwan Johnson is a receiver. Taysom Hill is the Swiss Army knife. You can call him a tight end, but he's not a tight end in the traditional sense of the word. So that leaves you with J.P. Holtz and Lucas Krull. And now Brandon Dillon. The corresponding roster move, by the way, was that they cut Kahale Waring, who was another one of the undrafted guys that they had brought in. So that they swapped a tight end for a tight end. One of the things that's encouraging is that the Saints have always and apparently will continue to employ a traditional blocking tight end. If it was Dan Arnold, if it was Michael Ho'omanawanui, if it was Josh Hill, the Saints have always had that guy. Last year, we looked at Nick Vignette kind of as that guy when they brought him in from Denver, and Vignette is still on the roster, so he could very well be that guy. But you always look for possibilities to upgrade if it exists. I think a lot of people are bullish on Lucas Krull. We've talked about him here. 6'6", 260 pounds, played his first 2 years of college at the University of Florida. Didn't really play much. Transferred to Pitt. And then this year, with Kenny Pickett throwing the ball, he had 38 catches for 451 yards and 6 touchdowns. For perspective, his first 3 years of college, he had 10 receptions combined, total in 3 years. He had 38 for 451 and 6 tutties last year. So Lucas Krull is a guy people are very high on. I am. But Brandon Dillon's a guy that's got some NFL pedigree. He's been around. He's 25 years old. He's been around the NFL now for 3 seasons and has managed to stick around on a roster, and he is your prototypical tight end build. He's 6'5", 250, and can be that guy that puts his hand in the dirt and blocks. And has shown the ability to catch the ball at times. And I will also say that Minnesota does, in fact, use their tight end, but they've been kind of set there. I mean, Kyle Rudolph was a Pro Bowl tight end there. And after that, Tyler Conklin had a really good year this year with 61 catches for 593 yards. So they haven't exactly had an opportunity for anybody to break through there in Minnesota. Is it concerning that he couldn't catch on with the Jets? Yes, because the Jets stink and they really don't have any options there. Now, Kenny Yeboah, the Ole Miss tight end, he's there in New York with the Jets, but maybe a little bit of an NFL project. Maybe Brandon Dillon is a camp body. But this signing is why you scout the draft and why you scout other rosters. The way you always have an updated scouting report on a player. If they become available, you know if you can make a decision quickly. If a player gets cut, if a player is available, if you cut a player and need to go sign someone, there isn't any delay. There's no reaction time. You just look at your board and make the decision. So clearly this was a player that they had scouted, they were familiar with, they had a roster spot open, and they went and signed Brandon Dillon. So a comp maybe I'll give you is a guy like Jordan Mills. I'm not trying to say he'll be the same role, but Jordan Mills was a player they were familiar with. The Saints were devastated by injuries on the offensive line, and with COVID a year ago, when they needed an offensive lineman, they knew Jordan Mills. They went and signed him. He ended up starting 5 games for you last year. I'm not saying that Brandon Dillon's going to don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that he's going to start games for the Saints. Maybe he's just a camp body, but what you hope is Adam Troutman becomes your primary tight end, and your need is for the complementary tight end that the Saints have always employed, and this gives you options. Maybe Lucas Krull impresses and winds up winning that job. Maybe Nick Vignette throws them all out the boat, or maybe someone like Brandon Dillon steps up and earns a roster spot and becomes a part of this team. So we'll see, but it's another name to know as the Saints get closer toward training camp, and it also tells you what we've talked about a while. 2 spots where they need options. Running back, tight end. Well, they got a tight end option anyway today. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you a CWS update. We're also keeping an eye on lots of changes going around with the PGA Tour. I mean, it's almost comical how that whole LIV Golf situation has just forced the PGA, which is so antiquated, to move quickly the way they have. We'll get to that. And Sevyn Banks set to join us here this hour as well. So we'll get to that. Stick around. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. Tell you every day, do business with someone you know, HUDCO Roofing, HUDCORoofing.com. Give us a shout, 364-1007, 364-1007, or HUDCORoofing.com. You're always welcome to contact me directly if I can help. Matt at HUDCORoofing.com. If you'd like, I am more than happy to facilitate. I don't just endorse. I'm a partner with HUDCO, and I'm very happy to help facilitate your claim if you need to. Matt at HUDCORoofing.com. If it's commercial or residential or new construction, if you have a small roof repair or you need a massive roof replacement, we can help you. We have insurance professionals on staff that will work with the insurance company to get your claim approved, even if your claim has been denied in the past. We have the know-how. We have people on staff who have the know-how to get that done for you. HUDCO Roofing and HUDCORoofing.com. Do business with someone you know. HUDCO Roofing and HUDCORoofing.com. All right, it's after further review. Stick around. We'll continue.
AFR.
Come on over. over to Corval Toyota to pre-order your next vehicle, and you'll never pay over MSRP. Browse, reserve, pick up, and enjoy. It's that simple. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Captain Jack Sparrow, pirate so brave on the seven seas.
What?
A mystical quest to the isle of Tortuga, raving like sway on the ocean free.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Lonely Island's so good. Michael Bolton.
Now back to the good part.
Back to the good part. This, for those that don't know, this is a satirical band called The Lonely Islands. Andy Samberg kind of formed. They would do shorts on SNL. They released an album. This was one where Michael Bolton sings a song about He's supposed to be rapping with them. They're talking about going to a club and all, and then every time he jumps in, he starts singing about
Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. What's the movie?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean. It's not Pirates of the Caribbean. Okay.
That's how you say the word.
It's not how you say the word. It's Caribbean. They say Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know, but
we played the trailer.
We did.
It's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Good soundtrack in that movie.
If Voice
too,
Guy
actually.
says Pirates of the Caribbean, it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
Fine.
Shout out to Ashley Davis, Jeff Hodges, Brent Diaz, Chris P., Rocky Cronkite, Roy Price, Kelly Anderson, all who pointed out the Pace Picante sauce commercial, the New York City Pace Picante sauce commercial. I bring that up because I am going to New York. And we are going to go to a Yankees game. Excited about it. Get to watch Bregman. So people are like, hey, man, you going to call Bregman? I mean, yes, I will. But I'm kind of nervous. Not nervous. But I'm be head to toe in Yankees gear. Like, that's going to be a little awkward.
It there, right?
I guess he gets it. I guess he
Come
gets
on.
it. There was a good picture Erica took years ago of it was when Bregman so Bregman used to come, for those that don't know, used to come on the show every week when he was in the minors. And he's awesome, love the guy forever and ever. I've said this often. Like, I hope he goes to the Hall of Fame, has an awesome baseball career, but if he never played baseball again, I wouldn't care. He's just been a great friend and great to me and my family. But there was a Sunday night baseball game, and he hit a grand slam. I'm trying to remember who it was off of now. But Bregman hit a grand slam, and Erica had dressed Drew in an Astros Alex Bregman shirt, and I was wearing Yankees gear. And so, like, I have my hands on my head like, oh, no. And Drew is standing right next to me with his Bregman shirt on, smiling. Drew has no concept of what was happening, but it's equal parts awesome and awful. But anyway, and he's trolled me for a while about that picture because I did post it, and I think we tagged him. But anyway, I am looking forward to getting to the Yankees game, see the new stadium, and watch the Yankees Astros. And I mentioned we're going to watch MJ. MJ is a new play on Broadway. It's Michael Jackson. Apparently, and the weirdest thing about this is, so I've never been to Broadway. You have, apparently?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
I'd like to go.
Okay.
It wasn't on the itinerary for the New York trip, though.
Never been to Broadway. I don't think theaters never. I have nothing against it. It's just never been something that I've thought, hey, I got to go do that. Well, my good friend Jeffrey Marks was like, the thing that I want most for you is to go to a Broadway show, just to experience it. I'm like, okay, I'm not opposed to it. So I was looking at, this was literally yesterday. I was looking at tickets, and every day I bring my lunch to work. I eat in my office. Yesterday I just forgot, so I had to go get lunch. I told you I went to Rouse's and got lunch. I legitimately did. Well, I just happened. I'm leaving Rouse's. I get in the car and I'm listening to Greenie, which I never hear. I'm always, you know this,
right? Yeah,
I'm here. I prep. I'm not listening during the day, and so a random day. And Greenberg hadn't even been there for months because he's been covering the NBA Finals. It's weeks or whatever it is. And I literally get in the car, and in 30 seconds into the segment, Greenberg says, I went to Broadway and saw the show, MJ. If you're going to be in New York City this summer, you should really check it out. I haven't that much fun in the theater in years. I'm going, holy crap. He's like, it's basically the guy who plays Michael Jackson is a dead ringer for Michael Jackson, super talented. They basically play like 30 of his songs. So I'm like, I love Michael Jackson's music. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of some of his life choices and all that sort of stuff, but as far as an artist, I'm a gigantic fan. So got tickets. We're going to see MJ. I say all that because I got a text from, I won't say his name is Eric. You can always text the show, 396-4400. This is the show text line. He said, wait, Michael Jackson's dead? And I replied, I'm like, are you serious? And he said, wait, is this some sort of inside joke? Are there really people walking the face of planet Earth that don't realize Michael Jackson
can't be, right?
Michael Jackson is dead. Maybe
he died in like 2009. Like, this is not new.
Michael Jackson, he was 50 years old when he died. He died June 25th of 2009. I mean, it's 3 days from the anniversary of his death. I mean, that's been 13 years.
Yeah.
2009. It's been 13 years since Michael Jackson died. I can't believe it's been 13 years. Wow. Anyway, that's stunning that it's been that long. But
there can't be people that he's got to be trolling, right?
Maybe this could be our Citizens Bank and Trust poll question of the day on Twitter. Did you know Michael Jackson died? Just to prove
without context. That's so good.
Yeah, with no context.
Yeah.
Did you know Michael Jackson died? Yes or no? I mean, it's long enough now to where it's no longer a joke. Like you could, is it long enough now to where you can joke? Kevin Gotro said, does Eric believe Elvis is still alive?
Tupac, yeah, he's on that train too.
Hey, Eric, bad news. The Titanic sunk.
Yeah.
Sorry to break the news to you, bro. Eric, hey, Lincoln, he didn't make it out of the theater, man.
No,
Sorry.
no.
See, that's one of those where, like, 150 years later, you can make the joke.
Right.
I'm sure, like, within some time frame of the president being shot at Ford's Theater back in 1863?
I'm pretty sure.
He was elected in 1860.
Yeah.
I don't know that he made it to a second term.
He didn't make a second term, so maybe it was
then
64. Because then LBJ, right? No, that was sorry.
No.
That was
thinking of
Kennedy.
Yeah.
1860. Johnson.
He was assassinated April 15th, 1865. So he had to have been
65,
elected to.
that's
He had
right,
to
okay.
have been elected to a second term then.
Then Andrew Johnson took over after that. He was his vice president.
All right. History. That's where we've gone now, as I am counting down the minutes to.
I have a minor in history. Hey, I got to put it to you somehow.
Hey,
Right?
that a boy, Muse.
Gotta put it to you somewhere.
Big shout out also, by the way, because we do have we have Colucci coming up. And big shout out to the former producer of this show, Brian Haldane, who just tweeted, how do you know you're raising your kids right? Well, he shared this video of his daughter in the car saying this.
Hey, Abby, there's a hockey game tonight. Who am I waiting to hear from?
The Gucci. The Gucci is how they call Colucci. They thought whenever we yell Colucci that we're saying the Gucci, which I think is just awesome. Sevyn Banks is supposed to be joining us. He Ohio State defensive back who transferred into LSU. We're excited to talk to him. He shot me a note. He had a team meeting and then a team run, and they were going to be finishing sometime around 5 o'clock. So we pushed to like 5:15 or 5:30. So I'm still waiting to hear back for when he gets done with that run to jump aboard with us. So we are hoping we'll be able to get that in here in the next segment or so. So if we're able to, great. If not, we might have to push it to next week. I'm sorry about that, but we're trying to make it work here for this next segment. Let me remind you about GMFS Mortgage, gmfsmortgage.com. Changing lives since 1999. One thing I think is very important to remember, and why I would highly recommend you get in touch with a local loan officer at GMFS Mortgage. A lot of people are looking at the home market saying, rates are going up. I'll just wait to buy till rates go down. One thing to keep in mind is just because rates are going up, it doesn't mean home values are going to decline. Their appreciation may slow, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to depreciate. So you could buy a home now, and when rates go down again, refinance. There's so many options, and a local loan officer from GMFS Mortgage can help work through all of it for you. GMFSmortgage.com. GMFSmortgage.com. That's GMFS Mortgage, changing lives. All right, it's after further review. If you missed it earlier today, Texas A&M has been eliminated from the College World Series. They were beaten today by Oklahoma 5-1. So Oklahoma does in fact advance to the championship series, and Texas A&M is eliminated. The second half of the bracket semifinals begins tonight in about 32 minutes from right now. It'll be Ole Miss against Arkansas. Ole Miss is in the driver's seat. Arkansas will have to beat Ole Miss twice. And interestingly enough, John Gaddis is going to get the ball for Ole Miss tonight, not Derek Diamond. Remember, Derek Diamond started the season as Ole Miss's Friday night guy. He pitched against LSU last year, and he just didn't have a good year. He had an ERA north of 6, actually almost an ERA of almost 7. But he is not going to get – he did get the ball in their regional closeout against Arizona. He is not getting the ball tonight. Instead, it'll be a senior lefty transfer, John Gaddis, who'll get the ball and try to get Ole Miss into the championship series. The reason this is so interesting to me, and we've talked about it enough now, is that, my contention has been Ole Miss can win the national championship, but they had to make it through the winner's bracket so that they set up the championship series with Dylan DeLucia and with Hunter Elliott. If they lose today, most certainly they would bring back Dylan DeLucia tomorrow in an elimination game. If you do that and you pitch DeLucia on Thursday, you could pitch him on short rest in the championship series on a Tuesday game. More likely what you would see is he'd be there for an if necessary game 3. At least that'd be a decision that Mike Bianco would have to make. But if Ole Miss wins tonight, I think Ole Miss will win the national championship because I think their pitching will set up in that championship series. If they lose tonight, even if they come back and beat Arkansas to get to the championship series, I don't know that they can win the national championship against an Oklahoma team which has great frontline starting pitching, which is hot and is going to be completely rested after winning today. So massive implications for tonight's ball game with Ole Miss and Arkansas. Obviously, Ole Miss wins. They're in the championship series. There's that, but for what the result of the championship series will be, I think tonight is massive. So the game starts in about 30 minutes from right now. We'll get a pick from Otter. We'll get a pick also from Colucci on tonight's Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals. And, of course, as we tell you often with the Stanley Cup Finals, DraftKings, an official sports betting partner of the Stanley Cup Finals. So, man, you want to get in the game, this is your opportunity. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use the promo code Baton Rouge. Bet just $5 on tonight's ball game, or tonight's game, and they'll give you, regardless of the result, bet $5. Pick Avs, pick Lightning, doesn't matter. Bet $5. They'll give you $100 in free bets, no matter the result. That's only at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, but you got to use the promo code Baton Rouge. Again, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, use the promo code Baton Rouge, bet just $5 on any of the NHL Finals games. No matter the result, they'll give you $100 in free bets. Same game parlays are available as well. The more legs you add, the more money you can win. Turn a small bet into a very large payout. It's at the DraftKings Sportsbook. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the promo code Baton Rouge. 21 and older, physically present in Louisiana. Availability varies by parish. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for full terms and conditions. Licensee partner Golden Nugget, Lake Charles. Gambling problem? Call 1-877-7-STOP. All right, y'all. We're going to try to hook up with Sevyn Banks here. My apologies if this doesn't go through. If not, we'll just move on with the show and get through to Otter Locks as well. Glad you're with us here on a Hump Day edition of AFR, presented by Pluckers. Stick around.
AFR.
I had an awesome conversation today with John Schutz from Schutz Electric. Of course, standby generators from Generac, that's what they do. Many people know them as Baton Rouge's premier power expert, but they have a completely separate home standby generator division. So this isn't like they're taking workers away from their industrial jobs to install generators. They have an entire division that's all that they do. And something I've learned through this process of getting our home standby generator installed is it's not just like, well, they bring it over and hook it up. You have to get permits through the city and all this stuff. Schutz Electric takes care of all of that. The customer service has been sensational. I cannot speak highly enough of them. If you have ever thought about a home standby generator, power goes out, boom, generator comes on and it powers your entire home. Give Schutz. This will be the only call you need to make. It's to Schutz Electric. CESofLA.com. Financing is available and it is affordable. CESofLA.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, Front-to-Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front-to-Back Boat Service.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet.
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Pete Maravich would have been 75 years old today. And so it's fitting that it's on this day that LSU announced the statue unveiling of the late, great Pete Maravich. It'll be next month. So on July 25th, LSU will unveil the statue of Pistol Pete, which has been long awaited. We have known that this had been approved, and then, of course, they have to go through the whole process of having it cast and all of that stuff, paid for, everything. But the Pistol Pete statue will be unveiled outside of the Maravich Center, the building porch which bears his name. I guess sort of the backside by the basketball facility where the statues of Bob Pettit and Shaquille O'Neal currently reside. The statue of Pete Maravich will join them on July the 25th. So that's fantastic news, not only for LSU basketball fans, but for all LSU fans and for fans of Pistol Pete. Mark that date, July 25th. They'll unveil the Pete statue. And Simone's going to get a statue. We know that as well. And I've said this often, and it bears mentioning. It's worth mentioning again. For many, many, many years, LSU did not, and it's not to say that this was bad, it just wasn't a focus. They did not recognize its history. And with the process of beginning to retire jerseys in football and basketball and baseball, the dedication of statues to the likes of the late Dr. Billy Cannon, Shaquille O'Neal, Bob Pettit, Pete Maravich, Skip Bertman. A lot of the, if you walk around Tiger Stadium now, it in many ways is a showplace. It's a museum of LSU's history, right? I mean, there are monuments dedicated to their SEC championship teams, to their national championship teams, to All-Americans, to award winners. All of that grand history that is worthy of celebration is now, there to be seen and to be recognized and to be celebrated. So that's fantastic, and Pete's statue will be the next part of that. So July 25th, they'll unveil the Pete Maravich statue. It's after further review. Glad to have you aboard with us here. Otter Locks in less than 10 minutes from right now. A couple of other things that I did want to get to. Number one, this PGA LIV Golf thing, It's so interesting because we just don't talk about golf here. We don't. I mean, if Tiger's in it, people mention the majors. If there's an LSU guy, if Sam Burns will talk about, but we don't typically talk about golf. But the LIV Golf phenomenon has taken hold of so much conversation because they are disrupting one of the major sports. I mean, LIV Golf is disrupt. When you take 8 of the top 50 players in the world from a sport, major champions, that is by definition disruption. And LIV is a very real threat. And the PGA now is stepping up and offering larger purses and other events, which we'll talk about in a second. But Rory McIlroy, first of all, play number 1. Today he was talking about Brooks Koepka, his sort of about face, because Brooks had said he wasn't going to go to LIV, and then he changed his mind and is now going to LIV.
Again, I'll go back to what I said at the I think it was at the U.S. Was it last week or it might have been? I don't know. But am I surprised? Yes, because of what he said previously. You know, I think that's why I'm surprised at a lot of these guys, because they say one thing and then they do another, and I don't understand that, and I don't know if that's for legal reasons or if they can't. I have no idea, but it's pretty duplicitous on their part to say one thing and then do another thing.
You're talking about something you said 2 years ago or a week ago?
The whole way through. Yeah. The whole way through, in public and private.
Rory, in hindsight, is going to end up looking very stupid, I think, because when you continue to double down and more people continue leaving the tour and you continue criticizing them, you're eventually going to end up sounding like, well, if there becomes an inevitability that everyone goes and plays at LIV, you play this back. It becomes like the Nick Saban, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach. And the day could come where Rory and everyone plays for LIV. Anyway, this was just unintentionally funny.
I don't think so, because I think certain guys always have their tournaments that they like to play. I think this tournament's looked after the guys really well over the last few years, and it's done a good job to make them feel really welcome in Hartford.
Can you pause it? Can you pause it? I would just like to say that I think it's very rude of Rory not to recognize that the national anthem is being played and give it its proper respect. Please continue.
Do everything they can to get the top players to play in this event.
Get ready.
Look, there's obviously going to be some elevated events coming up here. And,
pause it again. I would also like to mention, and I think you'd agree with this, Muse, it is also somewhat admirable that he's able to barrel through it, right? Through the point that he's trying to make with a man very loudly singing the national anthem right next to him.
I mean, the dude is going, he's full throat. Like he is
singing the national anthem. All right,
singing the national anthem.
Continue.
I think that's important. I think it's important for the future of the tour, and it's important for where we are right now. But I don't think it'll minimize any other tournaments. You're going to have tournaments that guys love to play, and they're going to come back and keep playing.
Play the end part again.
They cut it off.
Play the land of the pretty. Play the land of the pretty again. Hit the high note.
Where we are right now. But I don't think it'll minimize any other tournaments. You're going to have tournaments that guys love to play, and they're going.
Who puts the national anthem warm up next to the media tent? What are we doing?
Maybe he was next to a speaker.
It was great.
Man, I don't know what Rory said. I don't really care. It's just so funny. The guy's just belting the national anthem right next to him.
It's pretty good.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad. And he, I mean, that's one of those, you can get the over-under on the length of the national anthem. That he went over.
Oh, for sure.
When you're going the free, I mean, you're milking it there. Like, this is your moment. This is your moment. And you're milking it. All right. All right. If you missed it, very quickly, in hour one, we talked to Jack Pineda. Would highly recommend you go back and listen to this interview. Jack Pineda is the shortstop from Baylor who transferred into LSU. He was with us in hour one. You can catch it on demand, AFR on demand, presented by Brett Golf. A couple of things that Jack Pineda said of interest. Number one, this is an illustration of just how determined Jay Johnson is in recruiting the portal.
So Coach Johnson was actually the first person to call me when my name entered the portal, and he was kind of the reason I found out that my name, or when my name got in the portal, because was expecting it, and it's kind of a long process. And then he called me, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm in the portal now.
Do you realize Jay Johnson is basically just sitting there hitting refresh? That's like, you have this image, like he's just sitting at his desk, just hitting refresh, like every 10 seconds, just to see if another name pops in. That's how committed he is right now. The other thing as well is, remember, Jack Pineda started his career at second at Baylor and then moved over to short, where he played the second half of last year and all of this year. Jordan Thompson, of course, is expected to return, and Gavin Guidry could end up on campus. So where does he play at LSU?
Yeah, so I've played shortstop pretty much my whole life, and I would say that that's the place that I'm most comfortable.
But I did follow up and ask if would he be open to playing anywhere, and he said yes. He expects to be able to get reps everywhere on the infield, and then Jay Johnson will put him wherever it will best suit them. So, Jack Pineda, you can catch that interview on demand. If you're not subscribed up yet to the podcast, AFR on demand, just go to Spotify, iTunes, whatever, search After Further Review. You'll see our entire podcast feed there. Just search After Further Review. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com. Celebrating 75 years in business. That is Michelli Weighing and Measurement. If you weigh or measure something, our friends at Michelli, they sell, service, and rent the products you use to weigh and measure. They can come calibrate on site if you have equipment that can't or you don't want to leave your facility. Or they can always just come by and pick up whatever tools you need calibrated, bring it to their office, calibrate it, and bring it back to you. It's about making you more efficient, more profitable. That's Michelli Weighing and Measurement. They still love to do business face-to-face, even after 75 years and expanding to 29 labs across 11 different states. It's Michelli Weighing and Measurement, Michelli.com, Michelli.com, and hit the career tab as well. If you're looking for a career instead of a job, you can learn what they have going on at Michelli. Michelli.com, Michelli.com. All right, final break of the show, y'all. When we come back, Otter Locks will get you a pick on tonight's College World Series game, Colucci's pick on the NHL game tonight, and whatever else the Otter has for us. Trying to get back off the mat after a 1-4 night last night. Otter Locks is next.
AFR.
And, of course, if you want to watch Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals and the College World Series and all of the Major League Baseball slate tonight, the best place to do that is at Pluckers. Nicholson, just south of campus. Bluebonnet right in front of the Mall of Louisiana. Remember, Wednesday night is trivia night, 8 o'clock, 5 rounds, live action trivia. Win Pluckers gift card. This is general knowledge trivia. So win Pluckers gift cards. Awesome night to get by Pluckers. I mean, you can get there early, stay there late, watch the College World Series game, which starts in 13 minutes. You can follow that up by watching the NHL game or whoever your favorite Major League team is. They will have every single game all season long. Of course, they've got the MLB app. So whatever team you want to watch, any game all year long, you can watch at Pluckers. 28 flavors of award-winning jumbo chicken wings. Something for the family every night of the week as well. It's at Pluckers. Dine in, carry out, or delivery via Uber Eats or DoorDash. Remember, it's Pluckers. Nicholson or Bluebonnet, if you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
If you're in an accident, a car accident, a slip and fall where you're injured, you need to call an attorney. The defendant insurance company, it's their goal to close the case as quickly as possible and pay out the least amount of money as possible. That's why it's important to call an attorney and call the law office of O.C. Brown.
At the law office of O.C. Brown, we're a family-owned firm. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
Join 100.7 The Tiger and Our Lady of the Lake Ascension Saturday, June 25th at the Lamar Dixon Expo Center in Gonzales.
Enjoy live music from Ted Durr, Mike Broussard and the Night Train, and Jamie Badron and the Kickin' Cajuns. Make sure you grab a delicious plate of jambalaya from the Mike Ward's Liberty Safes Jambalaya Cook-Off to raise money for the Alzheimer's services of the capital area.
The Swamp Pop Music Festival with Supreme Chevrolet.
Louisiana's country station.
100.7 The Tiger.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Sevyn office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Sevyn have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1.
After further review with Matt Moscona, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria. Presented by Plucker's Wing Bar. Open till midnight or later every night of the week, where every Monday is all-you-can-eat wings. Plucker's Wing Bar. If you don't like our wings, we'll give you the bird.
Down the stretch we come, final segment on a Hump Day edition of AFR presented by Plucker's. One thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. Time for Otter Locks.
Otter Locks, presented by Bocage Barbershop in Bocage Village. Serving the Bocage, Goodwood, and Town Center area since 1959.
So we turn to the one and only, the incomparable and often incomprehensible, the Ott Father himself, Jimmy Ott. Otter, how are you?
Oh, I survived.
Yeah?
I could just say that last night. That was on my way to Tigerland to take out, I was talking about being Gosman's neighbor yesterday. I was going to get a studio at Tigerland behind Reggie's until the White Sox turned it around on the south side last night. I figured EJ a few years could just walk to, see Frioli and Fred's and, and look and JL and JL.
We rallied,
Yeah.
so it was a 1-4 night. Then I asked you for the pick. We hit with Oklahoma this afternoon.
Yes,
so we're
yes.
back on the come. Now let's have it. We got CWS. We got an NHL Finals game. Baseball. What we got tonight?
Okay, so first of all, and I have talked to Colucci. He has sent his pick in unsolicited.
Okay.
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Charlie and I are on different. Hanny likes Ole Miss in the game tonight. I like Arkansas for one reason. Looking at Del Mar restaurants in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep last night, I was going through some, and I looked at it. Arkansas was a 130 favorite. Arkansas is a 130 favorite, and I'm at 125 here. So they were 120 to 130 favorite, and now they have been bet immediately. And it was early in the morning. It was like pick 'em, and then Ole Miss is like a $1.25, $1.30 favorite across the board right now.
I'm looking at $1.15. I'm looking at Ole Miss $1.15.
15 now? Okay, yeah. Anywhere from 15 to 30. Give me a favorite that is bet to the dog. I'm taking the dog every time.
Okay.
I don't care if it's college football, pro football, college basketball, NBA, or the College World Series. So I am there's a reason that the Arkansas was made. And listen, you don't have to face Hunter Elliott. This is not like 2 nights ago. I mean, he is and it's going to be interesting to see Bianco, who hasn't been in a situation, how he tries to go for the throat with maybe one of his starters. That's going to be, but say Dylan DeLucia, if it's close, will he try and get 2 innings out of him to try and close the door if he has the chance? Well, we'll see. So, Other thing for you, I'm going to give you draft tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. I know it's a big favorite. But Jabari Smith is going over the course of the week to -160 to -286 to now at Bet Rivers -335. He is going to be the first pick of the NBA draft. Chet Holmgren is at 250 right now. lay it. They are the Oklahoma City loves him. The trend is your friend. Look for underdogs usually, but the draft, man, follow the trend. Smith is going 1, Holmgren is going 2. Maybe a little upset for Ivy to go 3, but Boncaro is probably going to go there as well. But Holmgren minus 250, pretty much every shop, including Bet Rivers, to be the number 2 pick.
Okay.
All right.
Smith and Holmgren, got it. Okay.
So Colucci.
All right.
Avalanche.
All right, hit me.
Avalanche, game 1.
1
minute
minute
overtime. He hits. Game 2 comes back with the Avs. They roll 7-0. And then he flips to the Domes, okay?
Yep.
Little stick and move on Tampa Bay. A little pop, and he's right back in the Avs corner.
Oh!
Colorado, the Avs. Stick and move from my man Colucci. We're going with the Avs tonight.
Colucci's going with Colorado. Well, you know then where my money is bet placed on the Avalanche tonight.
Yeah.
Real quick, Otter, 20 seconds. Anything in baseball?
I'm taking the night off.
Respect. Well, where are you tonight?
We're at the Cook Hotel and Conference Center in a brand new full-service bar. They've redone all the rooms, man, and we have a lot of glass, a view of the pool area. Man, we got big TVs watching the College World Series here at the Cook Hotel and Conference Center at LSU.
Thank you, Otter. Enjoy it. Have a good night.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
All right, we'll see you. Game time with Jimmy Out follows us. Muse Pauly, thanks. I'll see you Monday.
AFR.
As we get on down the road, let me remind you about the Williamson Eye Center, 924-2020, 924-2020, or WilliamsonEye.com. That's where you'll find the Williamson Eye Center. If you want to see 2020, call 924-2020 for the Williamson Eye Center. Williamson Eye Center can help you see 2020 without contacts or glasses, no matter your age or refractive issue. I say that every day. A lot of people will say, but Matt, I'm not a candidate for LASIK. Okay. They have refractive procedures. As much as the field of ophthalmology has advanced, maybe you had LASIK, other parts of your eye are starting to age, PRK could be a perfect solution for you. It's worth going for that consultation. You want to see without contacts or glasses, let the Williamson Eye Center be able to help you. 924-2020, 924-2020. LASIK changed my life with Dr. Blake Williamson. He can do the same for you. 924-2020 or WilliamsonEye.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has new 2021 Jeep Wranglers and Jeep Gladiators on our lot now with $5,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.